Hey, hey, welcome
What's
to News
good?
Dive.
Here we are
Yo, we got a yo
once
and an
again.
ah in the chat. What's good? It's always good to see
What's up,
people.
guys? Yeah, it's nice to have folks in on the jump. It's always good times.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
let's go.
no, it's another week of making people really angry and upset.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
it's my favorite. This is my
of
favorite thing to
course.
do.
But, well, it's also people's favorite thing to do is to get mad at you about stuff. So
You're not wrong, dude.
you'd be disappointing
I would
if
be
you didn't
lying.
if you didn't, come up with a hot take.
It's so funny. I made a little like I recorded what would potentially be a short form video earlier today where I was like, I'm begging people to understand that, like, I will say things that sound snarky, but, like, I'm genuinely asking for real, like, I'm not being a sarcastic dick about it because, like, I actually think that the questions people ask sarcastically are real questions that people need to answer.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Johnny Campbell. You can't make me angry. I already am. That's a secret
Yeah,
cap,
I mean,
you know?
yeah, that is indeed the meme. That is the correct meme for it.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm glad we're all on the level though. It's,
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
hitting this point where I'm like, I can't be doing, I can't be commenting ever, because, the propensity for people to misread the intent of my comments is like, immeasurable. Like,
They're like, what's
it's
the
like
most
constellation distance away. So,
what's the
yeah,
most bad faith
I'm
interpretation I could possibly take out of what he just said? Let me see here.
I know what I'll do. I'll assassinate this man's character as fast as I can. So what's the
Yep.
quickest way to do this?
Oh, we're gonna have to. Somebody's gonna clip that, assassinate this, and then blank. Insert in somebody's name. Damn. Did you hear what that Carter
Yeah.
guy said? He's as bad as Hassan Piker. That son of a bitch.
It's weird the amount of, like, comparisons that I've been getting to that fucking guy lately. Like, I don't know what to do with it because 'cause I'm like, I'm trying to explain to people, I'm like, I am not as brolic and I do not have a poli-sci degree. So, right off the bat,
Like,
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 I
no,
don't
just
like,
trying to have a conversation. I'm sorry if you interpret it in a hostile way. Sorry about that, but
yeah,
just talking with
yeah.
sincerity, I guess.
Yeah. If the comparison rings true, though, what I think is absolutely hilarious is how, like, defensible it is when somebody does it on a national scale, but the moment you swap it down to, like, a state level or a local level, it's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's too hot for us, guys. We can't have that kind of fucking attitude up in here."
What is this? Kevin Boardman. Did you know Heath Howard works for Maura Sullivan and will be her vice president running mate in 2036? Damn, dude. Dropping them bombs in here. I await the
Yeah.
announcement.
Yeah, that was the source of the anecdote for which is being joked about is the precise instance in which, we both Kevin and I were deemed terrifying. I don't wanna misappropriate it. Cindy is a good person. I just have very, very deep and fundamental disagreements with that take, um, based off of, like, legitimate information,
Oh,
but that's all beside the point.
I see. Well,
Yeah. Anyways, we should probably talk about the news.
I guess we could. You know what? Let's do let's do a little soft landing on into the news. Let's what do we
Yeah.
got? What do we got here? Unfortunately,
Ah,
we got three celebrity deaths that are super shitty, but also it's like I mean at least they're all like 80 plus, so that's cool.
it's
And they
true.
have a
Yeah.
shit ton of like media to look back on and a huge legacy. Dolly Parton. I didn't really like her music. Didn't listen to it. Don't shoot me. But
9 to
she
5
was a
is an amazing song.
she's
9 to
a
5 is an amazing song,
yeah.
like, for real.
But she also did a shit ton of charity work. Started a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Got the Dollywood Foundation started in '88. a $500 scholarship. Every student in Sevier County who wanted to attend Hiawassee College. That's pretty cool. Eagle Mountain Sanctuary at Dollywood. Imagination Library. This is a huge one that she started. The Dollywood Foundation's Imagination Library began sending one book per month to each child enrolled in Sevier County from birth until their first year of school. The library was founded in honor of Parton's father, who was unable to read. Yeah, 2000 Dolly Parton scholarship. We got 2007 benefit concert for yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, shit ton of charity stuff. Pretty cool person. Uh, LGBTQ plus acceptor before it was cool.
Yep. She was also a labor rights advocate to a
Yeah,
certain extent. Like, she was involved in a lot of labor rights advocacy.
right.
Um, no,
I've
losing
heard
Dolly
that nine
Parton
to five
really
is
sucks.
actually is a labor like a positive song.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely a labor positive song. Like, we lost a legend with Dolly Parton.
Yep,
Like, for real. It's that one is, that one's really a tough loss. I mean, look, like, people get old and they pass away, and
a lot of
that is
stuff.
fine and real, but it's there's a lot of honor to be had
Yeah, she
with
could have become a
all those
billionaire,
failures.
but instead she started all these fucking charities and donated a shit ton of her own money into this type of things. So
Yeah, it's she dude,
she
absolute
has her own
fucking
theme park.
legend. Rest in power, Dolly Parton. Seriously.
Right. Then the other one we lost, Tim Curry. R.I.P. Tim Curry.
Yeah, that's also sucky.
It sucks, but yeah, he was in not good health for the past couple of years, as far as I remember. But yeah, super legendary actor.
Yeah.
There's too many movies that are that he's in that are fucking iconic,
Muppet Treasure Island
dude. I fucking
is
love that.
so incredibly goated. Like,
Yeah, yo, he was Sidious
no,
in the Clone
he was having
Wars.
a hard time.
But yeah, yep, huge list of stuff. And then the other person was Peter Cullen, yeah, voice of
Ooh,
Optimus and Winnie the Pooh and you know every everything you can imagine, basically.
yeah. Yeah, that's fuck, man.
Latest thing he was in was Invincible is Thaddeus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this dude
I
like
actually
worked
still
until
haven't
the
seen
very end.
Invincible.
Really?
I yeah, I still haven't seen that. I've heard very good things about it, but,
They took
no,
the
for
wrong
me,
80-year old.
there's a certain point, like, I think it was, like, at, like, sort of, like, I never finished The Boys, right? Like, I watched
Hmm.
the the second to last season, and I think it was maybe, like, partway through the 2nd season of Gen V. It was, like, 2nd or 3rd season of Gen V, I can't remember what. Um, when I was just like I'm tired of all this superhero shit. Like, I was just like, "I can't."
Yeah.
I'm burned out on it, you know what I mean? Like, it's I've seen enough.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that for sure.
It's like I tuned out of the Marvel movies, like, a long time
Oh yeah,
ago. I'm
those
trying to
are
remember what the
fucking
last Marvel movie I watched was.
those are mostly unbearable. Although I did watch the
Yeah.
Loki series and I thought that one was actually pretty good.
Some of the series were okay. I really enjoyed the Marvel series that they did on Netflix when it was still on Netflix. Like, dude, the Jessica Jones series was fucking awesome. Um,
True. Yeah. No,
that
I
shit
saw
was
the
really
first
good.
season of that one.
Yeah, Jessica Jones was really good, and, yeah, I don't know, like, it really just started to kinda, like, peter out for me in terms of being able to, like, yeah, corpo slop, exactly. Um, it's just I don't know, I think, like how do I put this? It's
There's no way
like
to put heart into it as a when you're as a director to put your own like stamp on those movies because they all have to be like aligned in like the samey from movie to movie, so it doesn't feel like you're in a different universe or whatever. Like they wouldn't have Tim Burton come and direct one of these. You know what I mean?
yeah, there's definitely there's definitely that, and then there's also, like, I think there's a certain amount of negativity in terms of the cultural zeitgeist and, um, social psychology of people where, like, if you get exposed to too much superhero content, it gives you this weird escapism into a world where it's like, "Well, what if we just" you know what I mean? As if there's some sort of, like, savior that's gonna come along and fix everything,
Right.
and I just don't, like I don't know, like, how healthy that is for our culture to constantly be, like, leaning into this, like, deification of people,
Yeah, as well as a
and then
lot of
and
the
then, like
times being, glorifying military and such, A lot of those
yeah,
movies
yeah, it's
are
like
military propaganda, so,
right, 'cause it's kind of like a hyped up version of a good guy with a gun, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it still perpetuates that kind of, sentiment in
it's
culture, and it doesn't necessarily bring you any closer to, like, understanding peace,
right,
so
and
it just I don't know, that's it's tough for me.
and anytime something goes wrong in, like, a Marvel Universe movie or whatever, and it's being blamed on, like, an institution or something like that, it's never because of the people it's just normal people that are corrupt or anything, it's always like, "Oh, they were invaded by aliens, and that's why this organization is bad," but
Yeah.
usually government good, Government would be fine and
Yeah.
if they wasn't invaded with aliens or Nazis or whatever the fuck. So,
Yeah,
it's like,
this
"Wait a
isn't
minute.
corruptible or anything, this is all
Wait, hold on. The government is invaded by secret not okay."
what are we talking about? Yeah, exactly,
Well, yeah, let's,
I think that's the other thing.
oh, we're gonna say
Just one final note, like, it's, on this whole conversation is that, like, if you talk to, like, screenwriters or whatever, a lot of them will be like, "Dude, if I wrote a script where the things that are happening in our real world happened in that script, the
mhm,
producers would kick it back to me and say, 'No, this is all way too on the nose, you can't fucking do this.'" So,
right.
reality is stranger than fiction. And, like, in that sense, like, you don't need to fuck with it, and nowadays, what I mostly consume is, like, so I gotta give a shout out to this. Um, for anybody that doesn't know, I absolutely love, not just trashy television, like, I love trashy television. Big fan of trashy television. Wow, well, for some reason, I can't say those 2 words next to each other. Um there is a absolutely hilarious series. I'm also a huge romance fan, weirdly. Love romance content, like, big fan of that. There is a series on Netflix, called Badly in Love. It is a Japanese dating show for Yankee or, sort of like delinquents, right?
Oh, man.
And it is fucking absolute peak, and I cannot recommend it enough. So this is my moment, like try and show everybody a softer, more, plebeian version of myself, and I
Yeah,
hope you guys check out that show because it's fucking so funny and incredible. It's just a good show. It's really, like
I mean, I hear
they got a great
Japanese
chorus of commentators and stuff like that too. It's fucking it's mint. It's some of the most mint reality TV that I've ever seen.
sorry, you said, like, Japanese and then game show, and all I could think of was just, like, those crazy ass, like, actual game show clips that you see, like, just bunch
Oh,
of
like
random shit
Takashi's
going off.
Castle?
I'm just like, "Oh, man."
Yo,
Like, that sounds intense. What do we and then I'm like, "Oh, no,
the
it's like a
the show
Bravo Lifetime, like, ish." Okay, I see.
the show they,
I see.
what they yeah, what they resampled for Most Extreme Elimination Challenge,
Yes,
the
dude,
show,
MXC.
Takashi's
Oh my
Castle, that
god.
shit is
Great stuff.
but anyways,
Alright, we're
sorry,
gonna get into
we're
some
veering off
news.
into cultural commentary, let's talk about the news.
I guess so. We're gonna start with some, New Hampshire stuff. Let's mm, bam. So, Heath Howard suspends his campaign, and, yep, there's a little 20-second clip we can check out.
We have breaking commitment news now. This just came across the news desk moments ago. Heath Howard,
Alright,
a
pause
Democrat running in the
right
first.
now, pause right now.
Oh, oh,
Look at your boy
what's
hanging
that?
out right there,
Who's
getting footy,
that?
getting a footy. It
Hell
me,
yeah.
bam. Anyways, okay, continue,
Bam.
sorry, I just
Congressional
Look at
district
that.
is now suspending his campaign. In a statement, Howard says he's endorsing his opponent, Carly Barriont, adding they don't agree on everything, but, quote, this race is bigger than both of us.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
probably a good
And
thing to do.
I think it's like before any this top line shit. Um, if anybody has any misgivings, I, as locally sourced within the confines of the CD1 race, back Carly Berry on. Like that, like you as this show goes on, you will hear other criticisms and critiques of Barryon's position, but that does not mean that you do not vote for that candidate. That is the candidate you support. Obviously, there's certain conditions and caveats to that, but that's your ticket right now. That is 100% your ticket. That's it, like more details to come, but, like, just broadly speaking, that's the candidate right now.
Midterms, LOL, can't stop the left's free fall into oblivion. Really?
Yeah, I
How's
mean,
that happening?
yes. I guess, like, I guess that's true, but I would need more context on that.
Hmm. I mean, I don't think the left itself, like overall in this country, is falling into oblivion. I think they're kind of on the way up, if you think about it, because uh,
If we are talking nationally, yes. If we are talking about the state of New Hampshire, I think there's nuance to be had there,
oh,
but,
for sure.
like, I don't like, at the same time, it's like, look, the reality of it is, um, the extent to which, NH Talk has been able to, like, um, just consume just an incredible amount of oxygen in the social media spaces. That's that has absolutely gotten people engaged. Uh,
Yeah.
it's difficult to quantify the numbers specifically. I know that their server is climbing towards 1,000 members, if not more. So, um, whatever, is not having any discussion about what the contents of the server are like or anything like that. It is it is reaching that point. And so the if we're just simply talking about people getting involved, then, like, yes, um,
Yeah.
it is growing in the state of New Hampshire. Does
Yeah. We're
that mean
definitely
there are
towards
not
definitely more towards the beginning than we are to the end, I would say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are just now, like, within, I don't even know how long, this year, this, like, past couple of years, and just now starting to come together, like, as a, like, progressive slash leftist, like, block of people. And it's only
well,
gonna
and
grow from here, you know what I mean?
yeah, and I think there's a lot, like, there's definitely context to that too, right? So, like, my as somebody who's sort of, like, seen a couple different waves of this happen, um, we'll get back to the other stuff in
Mm,
a second, but I think this is actually probably important to address, is, as somebody who's seen a couple waves of this happen, um, my main sort of, like, thing that I wanna warn people about is the the extent to which burnout becomes like a really, really serious, component of this, specifically when talking about exactly what I imagine that chatter is trying to allude to, which is sort of like the inner conflict that occurs inside the left of New Hampshire, as there's sort of a just broader struggle to obtain power in general. And then the sort of like differing opinions that
yeah.
exist, not just inside the Concord bubble, but also within activist spheres as well, and a lot of the interpersonal drama that happens. Um, and I think there's a lot of like impulse to not wanna have conflict, but the conflict happens anyways, so that kind of, like, is, like it's one of those situations where, like, the tighter you try to grip, the more it slips through your fingers. So
Mhm.
that's the part that I always want people to be conscious of,
Yeah.
and as someone who's been around a bit, like, what I also wanna say is, like, do take some time to maybe examine, like, or speak to, or get in touch with, or listen to some of the people that, like, were really prominent at one point in time that no longer are, right?
Right.
Like,
And just
I
don't
would
get all your
say
hopes up and, like, invested in one person specifically, like, during any specific election cycle, I would say as well. 'Cause it's definitely
yeah, yeah,
something to
absolutely.
avoid the whole, like, disappointment, burnout, like, "Oh, well, if they're not gonna be in the race, then I'm out." You know what I mean? Like That's not
Right.
how we win anything.
Right. And you know, just like I think it's weird. I think, you know, like Heath is really on the back foot and like in defense mode up until the um the dropout. And what's funny is that I think in a lot of ways that the act of dropping out of that race gave him and his supporters so much more power because like if you we'll get to the polling later on, but like Harley's success very much so hinges on like Keith's supporters actually moving to like vote for Harley, right? Like
Mhm.
when all that stuff happened, there were a lot of people that had like sort of flooded away, but there were also a lot of people that stuck with it, and there were a lot of different like it really depended on what you were looking at and who you were like what particular digital space or like physical space you were looking at. But there were a wide variety of takes regarding what just sort of the reaction to what happened, and without Keith's support, Carly doesn't compete with Stephanie and Maura. And I like they I think that is not insignificant, and I think that actually gives a lot of power back to Heath and also to his supporters. So that's they like weirdly by him dropping out, he like became stronger.
Yeah.
This is his Obi-Wan Kenobi moment.
Yes,
Um,
you strike me down. We become
yeah,
more powerful than you
precisely.
can possibly imagine.
Right,
Uh,
right.
also, I just
Anyways,
wanted to say shout out to New Hampshire Food Bank here. They have a mobile food truck going around. These are the dates that
ooh,
you can
yeah,
get to them. In Wednesday, September 2nd, they're going to be in Claremont. Friday, September 11th in Laconia. Friday, October 16th in Manchester. Wednesday, October 21st in Keene. Wednesday, November 4th in Colebrook. Wednesday, November 11th in Claremont. I put the link to this down in the description below, just in
good.
case anybody needs to, check that out. So,
And yeah, and then not just for resource like access, but also for resource distribution. Um, Mutual aid opportunities like this are exactly what is primarily necessary. Yes, go out and vote. Sure, sure. Electoralism is flawed and whatever. Mutual aid is what builds the alternate movements. That's what creates the grassroots networks. That's how you actually build grassroots power.
yep,
Um, because when you really help people, when you give them food, when you donate food, when you see that exchange happen, or just like anything, whether it's like diapers for mothers that are having a hard time, or you're figuring out ways to help unhoused people, anything like this. If you're distributing like access to drugs for a hormone replacement, if you're trying to help the trans community, things like that. This is how you actually get people to come to your side because people remember who helped them
yeah, for sure.
and will come back and stand for you in those moments. If you genuinely make a difference in somebody's life, they will come to your aid when you need them.
Yep. So, what else we got here? Ah, yes. John E. Sununu, E is for Epstein, declines WMUR debate invitation. Opponent Scott Brown reacts.
Dude, I you need to play this clip.
Here we go. Let's check it out. What does Scott Brown got to say?
Show me Scotty's reaction.
I'm just I'm just shocked. I'm still kind of trying to process it because I've never had anybody turn down a debate.
The televised head-to-head debate matchup between two former U.S.
Damn.
Senators, Scott Brown and John E. Sununu, will not happen after Sununu told WMUR he will not participate in the Granite State debates ahead of the September 8th primary.
This is the DC
Boo.
way, folks. This is the kind of the entitled, I'm going to rely on my family name. I'm not going to go out and work. We deserve better. You deserve better.
Brown says Sununu is disrespecting
Yeah, but the problem is you're not better. That's
You know
Granted
what the wild part is? They literally debated, like, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. I watched the whole thing.
Really?
It was a stupid debate. Like, it was very, very, like,
yeah. What do they have to debate about?
it was very smooth-brained of a debate, but, like, for him to suddenly say, "No, I'm not gonna do this debate," is a little wacky. A little wild.
Kevin says, I'm from Massachusetts and Scott Brown is like a goddamn cockroach, won't stop following me specifically. God damn it. Get the fuck out, move to somewhere else. No. That's all right. I don't think we're in any danger from Scott Brown here. Maybe.
That's what we need
I
to
don't
do
wanna
is we
eat
need
those
to give
words.
these carpetbaggers more energy. I mean, more Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen.
state voters by not giving them a chance to see them discuss top issues and differences in a statewide forum.
I don't know where he stands on a lot of issues. I show up, and part of the job here is showing up to the voters of New Hampshire, and he's not showing up.
The Sununu campaign provided a statement to News 9 saying, quote, John has already done 2 debates and 20 joint appearances with Scott Brown. With just days to go before the primary, we are focused on the town-to-town, person-to-person campaign that has given John such great momentum and put him in a position to defeat Chris Pappas in November.
Okay, so I see what's going on here. This is WMUR being...
Kyle. Oh my God. Your boy lost his mic. Hold on a second, folks. We are experiencing the tech difficulties. I'm very curious to hear what the completion of that thought is. But I will say in the interim, as Kyle gets his mic set back up again, that I genuinely wonder if Johnny Boy is worried that Scotty was gonna bring up uh the specific uh posing with a pedophile photo. That's because that's definitely that would be a funny thing for uh for you know to happen. So Kyle Desi's just shouting at him through the chat. This is a golden moment, folks. This is beautiful scuffed streaming at its finest. We're just like we're really making it happen, and I'm so happy. Look at Kyle's face. The brother, you got hand signs. Can you sign at me whether or not you're gonna be able to? Oh gosh, this is brilliant. So, um, obviously, for those of you that don't know, Kyle and I are doing this remotely, and Kyle is producing this. So unfortunately, I cannot advance this screen, nor can I unpause this video. Um, but I can keep talking about this because I have plenty of words to say on the matter. Um, so this is gold. So, um, I love that they're still on this, like operating on this idea that like the Democratic primary is a foregone conclusion and that Pappas will win it. And that's not a guarantee at all, right? Like it ain't over till it's over. And again, pulling data later, but the the degree to which Pappas's approval has been sliding, that's like a big problem. And I'm sure both Brown and Sununu are salivating at those new polling results. So that would be just a general take that I have. And then Chris Pappas just looks like look at this fucking freeze frame right here. What is this guy doing? Like I, I'm sorry. That that aesthetic is so tired to me. Like that's giving the exact kind of like I'm just doing this because I have to. I made sure that I look nice. I'm talking to the media. At the very least, I don't need to be anywhere near the unwashed masses as I articulate this. What we got here? AI rolling with Sununu Maharajan on Saturday. Yeah, see, like, dude, they're gonna be doing this kind of nonsense. Just in general. Yeah, coverage on that is so wrong because if you're actually on the ground, people fucking hate Pappas. Hate, this has also 18% undecided for that race. Karishma is down by 13%. She only needs to convince 6%. Yeah, exactly. This ass is Pappas. Okay, thank you. Yes. The 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 undecided could call it, and then there's also the margin of error. That race is not decided, right? And if you had asked me like several months ago, I would have been like, yeah, this is in the bag. You know what I mean? But but as people are starting to lock in, I think they're all realizing like, oh wait, um, this guy sucks. Al, how you doing over there, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can.
Cool. I can't hear
I
myself, so
know
I
it's
have
so
no
cool.
idea how this. No idea how it sounds.
It sounds great. It sounds great. You're rocking. Don't even worry. You don't have to monitor yourself. Everything's cool.
Oh, cool.
If it cuts
Alright.
out, I'll let you know.
Well, I just gotta fix one more thing because you won't be able to hear the audio because I had to switch it over.
Oh, yeah, that'll be important.
What a pain in the balls. Damn you, computer technical issue crap. Can everybody hear me on the actual stream?
We can. I mean, I don't know. I can hear you on the I can hear you in our call. I would hope that we can
Yeah,
we can hear you on the
that'd be a
stream.
plus. Yeah. Give me one sec.
Somebody shouted us in the chat. Tell us, chat, can you guys hear Kyle? Any of this coming through? Euler. We can hear you good on that side. All right, cool. So you are coming through on the chat.
All right, that's cool. There we go. Share system audio.
Swag. All right. I love it when everything kind of works out. That's always nice.
Okay, so in the control room, you should be able to hear stuff. Let me just know if that's working. Let me play the rest of this real quick.
But the Democratic frontrunner is
I can hear
also
that.
blasting Sununu's decision not to debate.
This is showing that he's an arrogant candidate who feels entitled to this seat. You got to get out there and work hard and earn it, and give credit to candidates that are showing up and talking about the issues that matter.
No one.
That is some pot calling the kettle black
Yeah, man, you got to get out there. Come
shit
on.
right there. He's an arrogant person who thinks he's entitled to this seat. Dog, do you not think that also applies to you?
Him,
Like,
never. No.
for real. Do you really not think that as the heir apparent to Gene Shaheen? Like, you literally went for this where you've got like people meeting up at like I think it was Marissa that said this, where she was like, she like went to an event like a while ago and was talking to people and they were like, well, we have to be nice to Chris Pappas. We can't, yeah, he's wrong about some things, but we have to be really nice to him. We can't make him feel bad because he's going to be our next senator.
Like,
That was years ago. Like I shout out Marissa wherever she's at. She literally called that that exact attitude that he's now trying to spin around and in on Sununu for some reason. Like, guys, you're all cut from the same cloth, right? Like this, you can't eat like that's it's so incredibly disingenuous, and laughable, to make any kind of suggestion to anything of the otherwise. It's fucking crazy shit. That's it's unhinged. Like this is the state of our
silly.
politics.
Oh
Yikes.
my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What, so okay. Oh, so as I was saying before, my fucking
Yeah.
microphone died.
Please go.
This I figured out what this segment is. It's a WMUR being pissed that he doesn't want to go on their fucking like televised debates. They're just fucking super butthurt about it. They're just like, oh,
fucked up our ad opportunities.
You don't want to come on to WMUR? How dare you?
Come on. Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
like, I didn't know they did like
fuck with
20
their dollars and they
appearances
start to get annoyed.
debates and shit. I didn't know about all that. I thought they were saying like, oh, this is like the first one they're gonna do, and he doesn't want to debate at all. But like,
Like, come on, if there's already been a bunch of them, like, what the this isn't a news story, WMUR. What the hell? Like, what?
Yeah, no,
This is just you guys being mad.
Knows how this will play out, but analysts say there is some potential risk involved here for Sununu.
Yes, the polls are showing that he's way out in front of Scott Brown. But what message are you sending to Brown supporters, whom you are going to need in a tough race in November? You're risking alienating fellow Republicans, and you're certainly risking alienating voters of New Hampshire by not participating in this process.
In Manchester, Adam Sexton, WMU.
I don't know if I agree with that analysis. They're cowed. They hate Democrats so much. I think they will
Oh yeah.
vote for Sununu. I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
that's
see Republicans like not falling in line with whoever comes out on top there. Like, well,
right. Like
who are they going to vote for instead? Like, what?
that's a wild claim to make without having the data to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't buy that. I that's like that analysis seems to hinge on trust me bro arguments. And
Yeah.
I everything that I say is conditioned with like I'm just making guesses most of the time. Like it's sort of like to the best of my knowledge, and we have all seen people make really, really bad fucking guesses over the past couple weeks, right? Like, and like, there's even analysis that I did that is not true anymore because like I was not
Well,
clearly
shit
reading
happens.
certain variables. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, precisely. Shit does happen. Shit do be happening, and like I didn't have a fucking crystal ball on Alice posting that Facebook post. Like I didn't, was I supposed to know that was gonna happen?
Yeah. Not really stuff you can account for, really. Like, something
Right.
can be true
The best I
during a
could
certain time and then become not true. It's,
I mean, there was a certain amount of like, "Oh, we're trying to sound the alarm on the fact that, there's a specific subset of Christian Rudia supporters that are doing everything that they possibly can that exist from inside the Concord bubble that are trying to pop, any kind of momentum and you're trying to halt any kind of momentum for Heath Howard because they just, like, personally dislike the guy, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for not. And, so, maybe the reason they dislike him is not is good or not good. I wasn't there for those conversations, so it's hard for me to say. And I haven't heard every single story, but, um, but I also don't think that, like, unhinged posting on Facebook where you're basically trying to accuse a guy of never having a job and never being able to get a job, like, that's gross. That's really disgusting to do. And,
yeah.
um, and so I probably like, if there's one thing that I'm kicking myself for is, underestimating just how pervasive that hatred was for Heath, you know? Like, just how much they didn't like him. Again, setting aside whatever he did and how deserved that was, but, I mean, I was certainly aware of it. But yeah, that's I don't think to center this back on the Republicans though, um, they are not as, like, uh, ideologically motivated in the same way that the left is, right? Like, the extent to which the left will, like, burn a bridge over, over support, like, for support over, like, you know, interpersonal disagreements or, like, bad readings or whatever, like, the right doesn't really do that. In
Yeah,
that way, they're very, very strong.
as
Like,
long as you're gonna get
they're
tax
very
cuts.
unified. Right, right,
You know.
precisely, like, as long as you deliver for them, like, they're actually very much so, like, policy voters. You know what I mean? Like, they don't do so much optics, but now the policy can be really, really fucking stupid um, and misguided and uneducated and self-serving, but their messaging is very good around that policy. And so if you say, "I'm gonna lower your taxes," like, you basically won. Like, you don't have to make a strong argument to them because a lot of them are not that well educated and, like, yeah, so,
More money in my pocket.
yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Right, right. It's really easy to make that case, so it kinda doesn't matter which candidate you put up as long as they will they'll hold to that, and that's what I mean about them being, like, policy voters, and then if you throw in sort of, like, the optics of, like, the strongman optics, like, that for whatever reason Trump seems to be able to exude even though he's obese and fucked up and, like, what I did yeah, but his marketing and charisma is through the roof. Um, so when you combine that riz and that marketing skill with that sort of baseline messaging that appeals to very unintelligent and uneducated people, that's a recipe for success.
We love the poorly educated, don't we, folks?
He literally said it. He was
He
like,
literally said it out loud,
"Republicans are
yeah.
so stupid." Yeah, he literally said this, guys. Never forget.
We love the
Uh,
poorly educated.
yep. Just things that happened.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So we
Oh, let's
got some
go.
fighting to go over here of a more policy oriented nature, unlike that other thing, which
At
is, WMUR mad.
at risk of being called a sexist, the girlies are fighting.
Oh shit. Cancel this man immediately.
Oh,
Is
come on. That is an actual joke, right? Like, that is an actual joke that I am making right now.
comedy is legal.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Elon, for that one.
He did that. He did that for you.
Holy I did that.
So Stephanie Shaheen calls out Morris Sullivan's APAC linked donors, which is crazy coming from Stephanie Shaheen.
Right?
Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks so much for having me.
So with you, the expectations are always sky high. In this primary, they are set to victory. But what we see in this latest poll, are you in danger now of losing this primary?
Well, look, we're taking nothing for granted. We knew this was going to be a hard race from day one. We're working tirelessly across the district to do everything we can to reach every voter between now and September 8th. We're feeling very encouraged by the support we've gotten across the state from the firefighters just this week, teachers, electrical workers, the people who make New Hampshire work, and incredibly proud that we've received 3 times more support from Granite Staters right here than anyone else in this race on either side of the aisle.
And to your point there, you're up on the air now with...
She looks like she's reading a teleprompter like behind his head or something. Like
Yeah, dude, yeah. Yeah.
very,
No,
very
that's real.
rehearsed. Like she studied with
That
the
is
flashcards.
incredibly real. Yeah. There's a certain, like, roboticness to the way that she's speaking that's just, like, I don't know, like, so part of me wonders if this is, like, like, some of the reason we don't see as much media from her because, like, she doesn't have any charisma.
Yeah, she
Like,
doesn't
that
seem
is
very
like,
personable.
at all. Right, like, her mom beats her hand over fist in terms of charisma, and fucking everybody knows how much I do not like Jean Shaheen, holy shit. But, yeah, that's completely Rizless, like, if we're doing an apples to apples comparison between her and Maura, like, at least Maura's got some fucking charisma, dude. Like, holy shit, at least she can show up and just sorta, like, have some character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Very, very Haley Stevens-ish, you know? You get the good old what for or whatever the fuck she said. They're like,
what gives? What
Israel
gives?
comes to me in my dreams.
I'm sure Israel also comes to Maura in her dreams. But I also think she's wise enough to not make the incredibly foolish political gaffe of saying something like that out loud.
Yeah.
with an ad attacking Maura Sullivan. And part of that is you're alleging that because she has individual donations from people who've donated to AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, that she is essentially the AIPAC candidate in this race. Explain the link that you see here.
Before she says something, I just gotta say this is such like a cynical like thing that she's doing right now, just based on the insincerity of the first answer. Like, just I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like a real attack. Like, is Stephanie Shaheen for Palestine, like the liberation of Palestinians? Is that, or is it just like a political calculation thing here?
That is just reading the tea leaves. I don't believe that she would like I don't buy that, right? Like I just don't because okay, here's something really like this is super important for people to remember. The amount of like defense contractors and manufacturers that we have in the state of New Hampshire is extensive, right? It's like 12% of the state's GDP.
Mm-hmm.
Israel gets a fucking pretty sizable chunk of that, right? If you are within a certain system, right? Like um like political establishment system, you know that to say this is bad means you are potentially harming a certain subset of the New Hampshire economy. Like that is baked into the motherfucking pie. And like that is a huge part of the reason why Pappas and Goodlander vote in the way they do. It's a huge part of the reason why Hassan and Shaheen vote in the way they do. Um, anybody wants to learn more about this, I made a 15-minute video about this exact topic over on Locally Sourced. I would encourage you to check it out. It's called New Hampshire's Monstrous Weapons Industry. So put a bunch of research into it. Check it out. It'll tell
Definitely
you
check that out.
exactly why. Yeah.
We can
It'll
add
tell
that
you
to
exactly
the
why this is
description here as well.
Yeah. Um, it'll tell you exactly why this is like you can't trust somebody that comes from this sphere, right? You can't, right? And so they understand based off of just like messaging. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for sort of making this like broadly palatable um to the American left, like center left to left. We can thank the fact that Israel, support for Israel is like a 90-10 issue for the Democratic Party. The hatred for big money in politics is pretty ubiquitous. Like these are very very that's all very easy low hanging fruit. So like you simply can't be a Democrat and have that kind of message right now, especially in a state that's as libertarian as as New Hampshire is. So um and I say that as like small L libertarian, not like Free State Project, but like just
Yeah.
individual rights focused, right? Like personal liberties focused. Because that's something that like rings true for the left anyways. Like there's no getting around that. Like none of us want anybody to come fuck with us. Um that's normative. So
Yep.
you can't get away with not having that messaging. But the point is to say look at a candidate and then be able to like determine are they just doing this to get elected or do they actually mean this? Right?
Yeah. A lot of times people will have like, you know, activism and things like that in their history.
Yeah.
Probably no such case here. But you know, let's hear her out. Let's hear her answer. Maybe she can explain
Keep going
why
with it, yeah.
AIPAC is bad.
Well, first, I think it's really important for voters to understand there's a clear choice. Maura has raised 90% of the money that supports her campaign from outside of New Hampshire, from the Bezos family, from ICE contractors, Palantir, and more from AIPAC contributors than from people in New Hampshire. Our campaign's being powered by New Hampshire folks. 3,200 Granite Staters have stepped up to support this race. And there's a clear choice here. I'm going to be a relentless fighter for New Hampshire. I always have been, and I always will be.
In terms of the
What do you think of that answer?
Hold on, replay that for a second, because I was doing a little bit of like sort of like side research, and I just
I
wanted
could
to.
tell.
Just
It
wanna
looked like
hear
you were
on
looking
it.
up what she
Sorry.
was saying, fact checking live there.
A little
Alright,
bit.
let's go back.
Clear choice. Maura has raised.
Oh, just to make a comment about that first thing she said, is like, we have a clear choice. It's me or this other person. Is that really the case, or are you counting anyone out
It's
there?
not clear. That's not clear at all.
Yeah.
committee
The same
that she
fucking
is
candidate.
essentially the APAC candidate in this race. Explain the link that you see here.
Well, first, I think it's really important for voters to understand there's a clear choice. Maura has raised 90% of the money that supports her campaign from outside of New Hampshire, from the Bezos family, from ICE contractors, Palantir, and more from APAC contributors than from people in New Hampshire. Our campaign's being powered by New Hampshire folks. 3,200 Granite Staters have stepped up to support this race. And there's a clear choice here. I'm going to be a relentless fighter for New Hampshire. I always have been, and I always will be.
In terms of the APAC.
Okay. So this is hilarious, right?
Yeah, how has she
She's
been
talking
fighting
about
for New
how
Hampshire?
well, she's talking about how Maura took Bezos' money. Yeah, well, you took JB Pritzker's money. Like, sorry. Like, if you rip through the campaign filings on the FEC website for Stephanie Shaheen, you go and you just search up her name, right? And you look at her campaign. And all you have to do is sort the list by biggest donation, and it'll put all of the top ones like right up there. Yeah, there's a lot of like sort of like individual like donations, right? Because like right off the top, you see that there aren't any donations that exceed $7,000, which is the maximum. If you combine the primary donation and then the general donation, right? Because they split them into two buckets, so you can maximum donate 3,500 for each leg of the race. And there are a couple top line people that are from New Hampshire, but the more you go through it, the more you see states like Illinois, New Jersey, California, Maryland, right? Like you run through that, all of the biggest donors for her
Mm.
are are not in New Hampshire, right? That's just a real that's a real aspect of it. So it's like
Mm.
they're both gonna do this thing where they kind of like hide the ball a little bit. Um, and she said what 3,200, 3,500. We'll go with I'll be generous. I'll go with 3,500. Uh, so
Well, but what if the only way to beat a bad billionaire with a bank account is a good billionaire with a bank account?
yeah, well, okay,
Did you ever consider
I
that?
guess so. I just want you to know, she said, okay, so we'll go with 3,500, right? I want everybody to understand that she says, oh, we've got 3,500 individual campaign donations from Granite Staters. That is 0.25% of the state's population, right? No, we're not. It's not a statewide race, right? But we can sort of break that down a little bit more, right? So we'll go with 3,500 divided by 750,000, right? That's if we were to divide the race in half, and I would actually be willing to bet you that more people live in CD1 than CD2, just because of the way it's sort of spread out. That would be 0.46% of CD1, right? Um, like if it was an even split for the state, that's 0.46% of people donated to her campaign. So when she says, "Oh, it's grassroots," like, dude, not even half of a percentage point contributed to your campaign. This is all false. This is all fake information, right? This is bloated and inflated, and this is the way in which like talking points will manipulate reality to make you think that there's a lot more support than there actually is. It is still absolutely big money that holds up her campaign. There's no way around that. And like multiple members of her family, including herself, have donated the maximum amount too. So like
Yeah.
you might see smaller campaign donations, but huge, huge, huge blocks of the money that she's spending to get to that point are like coming directly from her family and state support to like big money NHDP kind of support. When I say state support, that's what I mean, not like regular fucking working people. Um, so that's all. That's
Yeah.
all smoke and mirrors.
I haven't seen too much excitement for a Stephanie Shaheen, campaign here. I don't think I've even
No,
seen
none
like
whatsoever.
a sign on the side of the road for her. Maybe I just because I don't drive too far around, but like, yeah, not a whole lot that I've seen.
Pack
Yeah, well, I
linked.
mean, like we wouldn't see it where we're at because we're both CD2, but
Oh, that explains.
but even then, like it's just it's all a joke to me, dude. This is all a joke. So I just so that we can actually get the numbers a little bit right. So there's 708,843 people in CD1. So yeah, that's 0.5% of the district has donated to her campaign. So that's a joke. It's like 0.49 string of numbers. Um, so we can call that 0.5%. It's a joke. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stop lying to people.
So is it? Do we want to see some more on this, or do we want to move on
I
to the
guess so. We
next
can, we
here?
can probably watch a little bit more. We're just we I do we're just
Contribution.
going really hard on this exact talking point.
Yeah.
Though, is there evidence of coordination here, or is this just coincidental information being conveyed in a negative light?
Well, the fact is we have independent reporters who have validated and verified that, like clockwork, these contributions have come into her campaign. They have been bundled, and she's been hiding it. And I think the voters need to know that because it matters who's supporting our campaigns and who we're going to fight for. And she's raised more money from APAC donors than she has from people in New Hampshire.
And many of the donations that candidates receive can be identified now as being, though this is from that person, they've also donated to APAC. What are you doing with money that you found in your campaign that has also come from people who are donors to APAC?
So we've ultimately decided to contribute that money to community health centers in the state. I think it's important, for the handful of contributions we've received, like Christian and Carly in this race, that we're going to contribute that money back to the community health centers that are doing such important work across the state under really challenging circumstances in healthcare right now. And the fact is, voters deserve to know. Now that we know there's been this secret coordination, it's important for people.
Well, like you were pointing out, that all this stuff is publicly available information on the FEC website. There's no really like hiding this stuff. So it's kind of like seems disingenuous the way that she's framing it. Like,
Yeah, it is. You're right. I think the thing about it is that like they're not their calculation is that people won't go look that
yeah,
up.
going for like
Like
the corruption angle, like here, like, oh, I'm not corrupt, but she definitely is.
yeah, and I don't know like I don't know if everybody is quite as vociferous with the amount of time that they will spend like ripping through the FEC website as like I know I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but I know Lex does that like as like a fucking hobby. But that's like that is like such a specific type of person that will do that stuff. Right? Like that is not like most people don't go fuck around with the FEC website, which is hilarious because it's incredibly easy to use. I would argue it's easier to use than fucking Google.
Yeah,
Um
like at least no AI
like it's
bullshit ads pop up, and then with like the second you search for something, like you actually get the
no,
results
it's
you're looking for.
dude, it's easier sometimes it's easier to find information on the FEC website than it is to figure out what fucking strain of weed you wanna buy from your nearest dispensary. That's
True.
like, when the FEC website is doing a better job, like, making their product like, which is campaign finance data, easier to find than a literal fucking head shop through Dutchy, like that's like you know, you know
I
that
mean,
it's like
don't say this stuff too loud. That might be the next thing that they, dismantle is that fucking website.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try, dude. But seriously, like it's as long as it exists, go use it. Like seriously, everybody, please, for the love of fucking God, get used to using the FBC lookup like search tools. Like they're incredibly useful. It will tell you so much just right away. Um, things that you suspect that you are, you're like, maybe this is okay. Like you can just go figure it out really, really fast. Like you can find out a lot of information in like basically no fucking time. Like, you can look up specific donors to specific campaigns, right? Like, you can look up by donor, right? You can see all the campaigns that an individual donor donated to. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's a really, really, like, very easily utilizable tool.
Yeah.
People to understand where we stand. And I've been very clear from the beginning. I do not support the Massey Amendment or a blank check to Netanyahu for these endless wars. We don't know where Morris stands. And I think it's important for voters to find out and to know.
So for you, this is a moral issue about where the money is coming from. So what about the federal delegation? Should they be giving back all of these donations as well?
Well, I can't speak for the federal delegation. Those are decisions they'll have to make. But in this case, I think what matters to voters is where we stand. And I've been very clear about where we stand. And I think in an election,
It's insane how like out of step the DNC actually is with the voters right now. And that
Oh, yeah,
even
dude, it's
like these
wild.
corporate candidates like understand like this is not the time to be, to be defending AIPAC and fucking Israel, in the middle of their genocide that's been live streamed for the past 2-3 years.
Well, because 'cause they're not blind, right? They can see polling data. They understand just how popular Israel as a country is in New Hampshire specifically. Like, and so there's, like it's like how a cop can lie to you, like, as much as they want to. There's no law saying that a cop can't lie to you, so, like, they fucking use that shit like crazy. There's no law saying a politician can't lie to you on their campaign. You know what I mean? Like, and they'll do their best to, like, obfuscate it, like, try and not tell, like, a blatant lie because, like, a lot of this is checkable. You know what I mean? But what she's doing there is, like, when she says, "Well, I can't speak for the federal delegation. I can't speak to this. I don't know about that," right? Like, that's a way to sort of be like, "I I couldn't I couldn't say. I don't know. I haven't," it's like, you could know. You could
Yeah.
have an answer to that. Like, you
Like the
you you
answer
very
is they
easily
are
could.
still accepting money from, Israel PACs. So there you go. You could just say it.
Right. You can just acknowledge it, but it's like that's another obfuscation tool, right? And when she says, like she's just like, "I don't support writing a blank check to Israel." It's like, "Okay, yeah."
Like, so what is the size of
Like,
the check you're willing to write them then?
right, right. It's like, "Okay, well, does that mean that you're willing to write them any check at all?"
Right.
Like, so it's like an attempt to throw a bone to the progressive movement that really, really hates this without ever having to, like, openly say, like, "I agree with the position that you have, and I am on the same side of the issue as what you have." All it is to say, "We acknowledge how toxic this is, so we're not gonna, like, wade into that problem."
Yeah.
like this one, it's important for everyone in this race to be accounted for and to know where do they stand. And the fact is, for us, I'm always going to be fighting for Granite Staters. 3,200 have stepped up to support our campaign. And my opponent, Maura Sullivan, 90% of her support has come from outside of New Hampshire.
If it's specific to this election, though, for instance, Chris Pappas has a lot of these kind of donors. Is it wrong for him to keep that money?
Well, New Hampshire voters know where Chris Pappas stands. We've elected him 4 times. He's been very clear in standing up to Netanyahu, and I think his record speaks for
What?
itself.
What?
And
Can we get some confirmation
He's
on
been
that?
very clear. He's been very clear in standing up to Netanyahu. Yeah, as he stands in front of a banner for AIPAC talking about he's gonna, like, stand with Israel. Okay, sure. That's cute.
Yeah, very
Um,
tough on Netanyahu.
like, and again, like, Netanyahu's not even,
He's not the
like,
biggest problem there.
Netanyahu is the right, he's, like, the tip of the iceberg, dude. Like,
Yeah.
he's, like, the very, like, tiny little shred of a peak, right? he's like just a selfish douchebag that doesn't want to lose power. Like he's incredibly self-interested with not being thrown out of power through referendum and through sort of like a realignment of the Israeli government. Like he's mostly focused on like continuing to be prime minister. But like most of Israel is frustrated that he hasn't gone far enough.
Yeah,
Right? Like
that's
he's too
insane.
moderate. He if you're talking about like Israel the nation, like Netanyahu's like too left wing for that. You know?
Yeah,
Weirdly. Right? Like it's weird
it's insane.
um
Yeah.
to 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 point that out. Like it's very incredible to indicate that as an issue, but fuck, dude, that's just a reality, right? When 47% of your country says, "Yeah, you should be killing every single person in a city that you invade." Like, that's not a joke. Like, that
Yeah.
47% of the Israeli population has supported that. Um, in polling data that was, um I can't remember who the pollster was. I think it was, like, Penn State or something like that, and then it was republished in Haaretz. But, that's that's real. That's a real thing. So the fact of the matter is that the current leadership of Israel is not bloodthirsty enough.
Yeah, and that's why it's just like a stupid obfuscation to say like, "Oh, I am against Netanyahu. I'm not gonna say the word Israel once though." Like, no thanks. Don't want to talk about that. We're just gonna say it's just this one leader, and once he's gone, then we can go back to normal. It's
Right.
just like another one of those Democrat things where they think they can just like go back in time 15 years or something. Like, oh, let's go back to pre-Trump. Let's go back to the status quo how we had it. And it's like no, nobody wants that. Like that's how we got Trump.
Y Yeah, and my argument is to say, "Let's go back to, like, pre-Reagan, bitch." Like, let's go back, like, let's try and return to that shit. Yeah, I'm not even saying pre-Bush. I'm saying, like, yeah, you wanna go back, you wanna take away things like the Patriot Act, right? But, like, furthermore, you wanna go even further back, and you wanna yank away all of the, trickle-down economics of Reaganism,
Yeah.
right? Like, that is the if we're talking about going back, we wanna go, like, we would much rather see, like, if there was ever a moderate that was supported, it would be FDR, right? And that's not even to say that there aren't problems with FDR because, like, obviously, I think we can all agree that the Japanese internment camps was really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
it's, like,
imagine how history
not
is going to
really
look
debated.
back on this time with, Trump
Right.
in all these fucking camps they got going for ICE at the moment. So,
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and I think those, like, that era of FDR is gonna look like fucking Sunday school compared to what we're doing now.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Idea of calling out these individual donors who also happen to be donors to APAC. It appears these are people of the Jewish faith. Was there any hesitation on your part ahead of time for how this might look to some people? And certainly the Sullivan campaign went there and said, quote, this borders on anti-Semitic.
Well, that's just outrageous. And the fact is, we have support from many folks.
It is. It is definitely outrageous. Stop conflating Judaism with Israel and Zionism. That's not. You can't stop it. God
And,
damn
like,
it.
I need people to understand that when I say this, I this m when like, me making this statement literally comes from Jewish people that make this statement, okay? Like, I am not, I'm not getting this from anyone other than the Jewish community when I say this, that to conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism is anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
That is
100%.
that is actual anti-Semitism. Because in order to if you are to do so, you are making the suggestion that, like, you do actually want all of the entire Jewish population of the world to be centered in Israel, which by, the sort of, like, philo-Semitic Christian view, is supposed to bring about the rapture, which means that all the Jews die. But then, so furthermore from that, there's also the component of like, yeah, you send them all there so that they can be unified in one place so that they can carry out all of these imperialistic ventures into the West Bank, bomb the shit out of Gaza, claim land from Lebanon. Like, this is like, that's not like you are the one that is trying to conflate the activities of uh a bloodthirsty genocidal imperialistic nation with a broad globally represented ethnic group that really is generally incredibly kind and peaceful. You know, like Jews in diaspora outside of Israel are like very reasonable participants of global society. They're major contributors. Like, Jewish people are incredible contributors to American culture, right? Like, the American culture as we know it right now would not exist if we did not have like a strong and like this well assimilated Jewish population in the country. That's just a that's just true, right? Like, there's not like we are better for our Jewish population, 100,000%. Um, And so when you try to take all of those American Jews, like in the context of this country, and you try to create an association with Israel, what you are doing is you are saying, "Oh yeah, if you hate Israel, you're anti-Semitic. Therefore, you want to hurt all of the Jews in this country," which foments the hate, which actually makes people say, you know what? Fuck it. I guess if I hate Israel and you're saying that I'm anti-Semitic, then I guess I'm anti-Semitic. And then you just made people that weren't
Yeah.
anti-Semitic or stupid all of a sudden identify with anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
That is being anti-Semitic.
You've given
This is
Tucker
literally a
Carlson another
Jewish
viewer.
critique of Zionism. Yeah, this. I'm not saying this as a non-Jewish, like, you know, culturally privileged white guy. I'm saying this as somebody who took the time to listen to actual Jewish people and really hear their arguments and use like genuine critical thinking to analyze what I was hearing and say, no, I this makes more sense to me. This makes a lot more fucking sense to me just on a like the like psychological, sociological, anthropological, factual basis.
Yeah.
Period.
How much more do you want to see the rest of that?
I don't like listen, we should this is stupid
Move
shit.
on.
We should see Mara
See
saying her dumb
the
shit and then
see her response
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Maura Sullivan blasts desperate attacks from Stephanie Shaheen. Let's see. I like I like how the WMUR is playing both sides here, including those, the things.
Dude,
Good
just trying
stuff.
to make money, like, just trying to make money. The outrage machine do be producing it. That's that money printer go burr, dude.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Jesus. Hold on.
Yikes.
Easy there, Adam.
And back then her campaign faltered down the home stretch. But in 2026, Maura Sullivan appears to be hitting her stride just at the right time. And it just so happens that Miss Sullivan is our guest this morning here on Close Up. Thank you for coming in, Maura. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's always great to be here and excited to be back.
Yeah, and so a lot of excitement around your folks right now for the St. Anselm College poll. I don't think anyone can argue right now.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. 1 second. My mixer is touchy, and I hit down on the volume too many times, so I got to reopen it. There we go. Turn the volume back up. Yeah. Live production right here. Good stuff.
What is the key difference at this time that Democratic voters are seeing between you and Stephanie Shaheen?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, we're thrilled with the momentum on the ground. And this is truly a people-powered grassroots campaign. We're really honored to have the support of 7 Manchester aldermen, 9 Manchester school board members, more than 200 community leaders, and contributions from more than 3,500 folks throughout our state. And, you know, voters have a choice in this election, and that choice is very clear. It's a choice between somebody who has committed their life to serving our country in the Marines, in the Iraq War, in Fallujah, under President Obama at the Pentagon, and someone who represents more of the same. And
wait, is that a plus for people?
What I'm hearing from folks all around the district is they're tired of politics as usual, and they're looking for change, and they're ready to send the next generation of leadership to Washington. And that's the change and the people-powered campaign that that our movement represents.
I have a question. Does any candidate out there go like, yeah, this is a corporate powered campaign. I love taking money from corporate PACs, actually. Like, fuck the people, dude. I'm all in for these big businesses.
Oh my god.
Like, what? Oh,
That's so funny. Yeah, like
does anyone not like use the grassroots in every single like response, like when they're campaigning?
I
Does
like
it mean
it's
anything at this
just
point?
no, it's completely like it kind of is bullshit, right? Like I don't at this point, I even with like progressive candidates, I'm like, yo, go look them up. Go look those people up. Dear Lord, do not let their campaign ad or their media appearance be enough to go off of. Like, you
Yeah,
need to do your
Ro
fucking
Khanna comes
research,
in
dude.
mind with that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to actually look this shit up. I just sent you a link. It is to the Maura Sullivan page on the FEC. I tried to send you a version that's sorted by amount.
What the heck? Oh, there it is. Oh
Why are you like this, computer?
my god. It doesn't wanna do it. Hold on.
Why won't you just listen to me?
Let's grab it from here.
Sort that by amount.
There we go.
Okay. So what we are looking at
Hellcats.
is we are right. So the Hellcats is a group of 4 uh g- candidates that are former military or intelligence that were inspired by Alyssa Slotkin, Mikey Sherrill, Abigail Spanberger, right? Like, all the people that we've been decrying is like, we would prefer to not see you running for office because you are literally a like CIA operative, right? Like, you literally worked for the CIA. What's more grassroots than a fucking CIA operative? You know? Um,
Yeah.
so you're talking about like, I want to say I ran the numbers on this recently. Hold on a second.
Maybe it takes a deep stater to beat the deep state, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, see here. Where do I do this? So the between New Politics Hellcats is specifically dedicated to that group of 4, right? But then it's also New Politics Next Mission Fund, which is another joint fundraising committee that's contributing money, right? If you add all those numbers up from them, because there's more donations further below too from them. That yep, see right there. So you got another two $6,000 donos right there. That all adds up to $48,721.95.
Yeah.
That's like big money. That's like big military money.
Oh, there's
Oh,
another
look,
one.
there's even more. There's
Yep.
more further below, right? Like this is you're talking about like incredible amounts of money that are and like that are coming from military funding. So like yes, Morris Sullivan is taking a lot of like Israel lobby associated money. She's also taking an incredible amount of money from like military aligned interests, right? He's
Yeah.
a former Marine, worked in the Pentagon during the Obama administration, right? Like that's the definition of being an insider politician.
Yeah.
I simply I simply reject this label of being somehow like
Just an outsider grassroots
outsider and
campaigner.
people, yeah, exactly. No, that's just wrong. That's incredibly untrue. So yeah, you know what it is.
And clearly, people are seeing something
Clearly.
because you're seeing this sustained attack on the airwaves against you right now. The argument coming from Stephanie Shaheen is that you are taking AIPAC money. This is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, because individual AIPAC donors are supporting your campaign. How do you respond to this attack?
Yeah, well, first of all, those are lies. I haven't taken a dime from AIPAC, any corporate PAC. And it's really, really.
Any corporate PAC.
AIPAC is not a PAC.
It's an organization.
Public Affairs Committee and Political Action Committee are two different things. Like they are a lobbying arm that should be but is not registered with FARA. So like I don't understand what to do with this. Like it is not technically lying because the money didn't come directly from AIPAC.
Yeah.
But that's not the same thing as not taking money from people that are contributing from AIPAC. And that's what the question actually was. So she's literally not answering the question. And this is like the same exact issue that everybody should always have with politicians is the way in which they will noodle away from the problem. This is like she's like very, very, very well media trained. So she knows exactly what she's doing. And this is what I mean. Like she's showing so much more charisma to her credit than Stephanie Shaheen was in her interview. This is why she's now sort of winning, right? Is because she can make this presentation. She can come out here. She can look flashy. She can say all the right things. She can hit all those same button issues and not register with people that don't go look up the fucking FEC records.
Yeah. Not that whole uncanny valley look in you know, Shaheen's eyes over there.
Yeah.
This Amora looks like she can in fact talk like a human being, so that's cool. I guess that's one thing she's got going. Unfortunately, the policy sucks, and you know.
Yeah, and the money that you don't want to be there is still there. That's at the end of the day.
Disappointing to see my opponent stooping to spreading, malicious and false attacks on me. Frankly, I would expect more from a fellow Granite Stater, and I would expect more from somebody who is asking to serve our community in Congress. I am really focused on running a people.
How dare you do political attacks against your political rival? That I expect more. Like what?
I'm stuck on this. I would expect more from a fellow Granite Stater.
Like, what does that even mean? Just like a human being that lives in New Hampshire? That's it?
Granite Staters. The people that like do we need to go talk about John Stone again? Do we need to bring that guy up again?
You should have more respect for authority as a Granite Stater.
I'm pretty sure that guy's a Granite Stater, and he sexually assaulted a fucking 15-year-old. So what?
Yeah.
I don't know what her assessment of the standard of quality of person that lives in the Granite State is, but I assure you, there are a bunch of super fucked up douchebags in this state.
Yeah.
A lot. Not just an insignificant number. There are a lot of really fucking cooked people in this state.
A lot of
I say
Jan
that with
Sixers
respect.
with
Love you,
the
fam,
shops.
but dude, yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta draw a line somewhere. That's a preposterous statement to make. Every single person in the Granite State is a good person. No, no, there's no such place in the world where that's the case.
I
This
expect
is
more from a
like
granite stater. It's like, okay, that's just like you're being silly now.
okay.
Powered
Here we
and
go.
grassroots campaign. And I'm proud to have the support of veterans all around the country. I'm proud to have the support of more than 200 community leaders here in our district. And our campaign represents change. Granite staters are hurting. My opponent can spend all the time she wants lying about me. I'm focused on fighting for the people in New Hampshire. And what that looks like, Adam, is lowering costs, standing up to Trump, rooting out this corruption, and building an economy that actually works for the 98% of the rest of us. That's what I'm focused on.
Shaheen and others have raised this idea that there's some sort of coordination going on here with these donors who donate to AIPAC and also donate to you, because we need to be clear, it's not AIPAC dollars specifically, that they are coming in on the same day. There's this allegation that there's perhaps an orchestrated or coordinated nature to this, that it's bundling. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so first of all, no coordination. And, in terms of the day that our campaign processes contributions, that's just a compliance issue. When you don't come to this race with the advantages of dynastic politics, you have to work really, really hard. And I'm really proud of the work that our team has done. And so,
So not gonna answer the question.
Right. You have to work really, really hard at going and talking to super, super rich people and assuring them that, like, don't worry, I just want you to understand that I'm gonna have to say all these things out on the campaign trail.
Right.
But yeah, you're still in my pocket. Don't sweat it. Just ignore what you're reading on the media, ignore what you're hearing in the news. Um, I'm still with you. Cool. Don't sweat it.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it.
It's
It's
a
all good.
compliance
It's
issue.
all gravy.
We're just filing the people are just happen to be filing in both AIPAC and my campaign on the same day around the same time. But no coordination here.
We just gotta win a
Like, we're
race.
not-
Don't worry about it. It's just it's
And
politics.
coordination
It's real
doesn't
politics. Come on, you say a whole bunch of stuff when you're on the campaign trail, right?
Come
Like, you make all
on.
these promises that you're never gonna keep, and it's just American politics. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And also coordination doesn't mean like you're on a Zoom call with a bunch of people like, all right, now donate to the AIPAC, now donate to me. Like that's not what they're referring to. Also, just
Well,
to
also
put
there's
that
this
out
like weird there's like a weird association that's like that, like all of those donations couldn't be bundled like before they made it to her. Like there couldn't be like like a coordinated effort amongst the people that are donating to do so all at once, right? Like it's um like just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's necessarily happening. Like and in fact,
Right.
it benefits you to not know about it. Like you could have
Well,
staffers
that
that are
was
like,
the
yeah,
whole
this is all
thing.
happening, but we're not gonna like tell her about it so that she can plausibly say this, right? Like,
Yeah.
it, yeah,
Well,
it's ridiculous.
wasn't that what that whole thing with Trump's campaign, the 2016 campaign? A bunch of his staffers were working like for Russia.
Right, yeah, exactly, and it's like,
Like,
well, Donald Trump wasn't working for us, so it's like, yeah, that's
yeah.
when your fucking campaign was, dog, like, what are you talking about? Lex hopping into the chat, what are your comments on the conspiracy theory that Heath Howard is secretly working for Maura Sullivan? It's cooked. It's I don't it's,
It definitely
I don't
sounds like they align on policy for sure. They're
Yeah.
definitely.
I would certainly love to know what, like
Where did that come from?
because so, it came from a very specific, post that happened on, like, TikTok and Instagram, like, a day or 2 ago, uh,
Ah,
and, I got into a lot of hot water with some folks, like, personally, because he's getting a job at her satellite office in Tel Aviv, right? Yeah,
yeah.
um,
Doing
look,
remote work.
like yeah, um, so I like, it I wanna know who's making this claim because I did, like, have a conversation with the person that I said a very insulting thing to, and do want to extend a genuine apology to, the person who made the post, do it on the stream in person so everybody can see my face and hear my voice when I say this, that I came at that way too hot, it doesn't necessarily mean that I disagree with what I said, but, I could have put it a lot nicer. And I'm literally reconsidering my, participation in any comment thread anywhere ever again because of this. Now, like, me and that person have, like, overcome that particular issue. We still communicate despite whatever disagreements we have, because I do see a benefit to maintaining connections with people. Like, I just know, guys, if I disagree with you at some point or another, I don't fucking hate you. Um, I mean, like, really, like, gnarly disagreements. I still don't hate you. You're still a good person. Like, we're all sort of, like, on the same side of things. Um, but I don't have any visibility on where the information that created that notion occurred, right? Like, I don't know what generated that. So I it was like my understanding was that it had come from, like, a trusted alternate party that had said this. And I'm like, "Okay, well, like, I'm not gonna ask you to, like, reveal your sources or out anybody to me, like, it's fine, like, we all have our spots that we come from, things, I guess." But, the person who said it did say like, on the outset that it was, like, purely speculation. Those are exact words. I'm not paraphrasing, right? But, like, it was coming from a notion of something. And I'm curious as to, like, who who said this to you? Who do you trust that said this? Because, like, that's a pretty egregious thing to say.
Right.
And, like,
Like, what the hell?
yeah, it just doesn't track to me, especially because knowing what I know about, like, if I set aside any sort of, like, internal knowledge that I have of this, um, I just look at what's happening right now with with Heath endorsing Carly Berry on, right? Like, why would you endorse the opponent? Like, why
It's like, so here was what I'm gonna
let's
do.
let's just
Like,
start with that.
I'm gonna work for you, but I'm gonna endorse your opponent to throw people off the
Yeah.
scent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're playing the long game here.
That's wild implications of, like, dude, that's like, if that is what Heath is doing, my god, is he, like, the most savvy political operator that New Hampshire has ever fucking seen. Like, he's an
That's
evil genius.
some
Holy
fucking
shit.
Machiavellian
That's
shit over here.
crazy. Yeah, that's dude, really, like, proper, like, late chapters of The Prince kinda Machiavelli, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about, like, holy shit, this guy ain't Caesar Borgia. He is literal Niccolo himself. Um, it just doesn't, like, it doesn't it doesn't make any sense to me. And, like, I like, what was hilarious about that is, like, yes, I had probably one of the most hot takes in that particular, comment thread, but, like, there are plenty of other people that were like, "Dude, no. Like, no. No, not doing this." Um, like, I am certainly aware that, like, look, like, I've spoken to a number of different people from, like, a variety of different, like, positions on the political spectrum to know enough to know that, like, regardless of all this stuff, like, Mara is a nice person, right? Like, if you just, like, went and had a conversation with her about, like, books and movies and food and wine and whatever, right? Like, I'm sure she's a delightful person, right? Like, I'm sure she's very friendly. I'm sure she's actually quite understanding on an interpersonal level. Like, I'm sure she's a
Yeah.
sweet person, right? But her policies are fucking ass.
Right.
Like, her policies are fucking ass. Her history makes me not be able to trust the decisions that she will make going down the line when it comes to implementing specific policies, and therefore she's not a good candidate, right? I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm saying she's not a good candidate. Those are two very different things. And when people aren't able to parse those things out, then it's ridiculous. Now, like, I had heard at separate points that, like, um at, like, specific moments, Mora would, like, see what was happening to Heath and reach out and be like, "Dude, I'm sorry you're going through this." And that's just, like, that's sort of, like, the inside business of being, like, opponents that all still fundamentally agree on, like, I don't know, 60-70% of the issues that are being discussed on the table. You know what I mean? Maybe some of the issues that exist within that 30% are like incredibly dramatic, which I want to continue watching this because it gets to one of those specific points like healthcare. Um, but that doesn't mean that like every single one of these candidates hates Trump, right? Every single one of these candidates hates Republicans. So like we can maybe start there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we can maybe start with the general implication of like there is a certain difference to be had there. Now like like what that breaks down to further out from there is really really bad, right? Like but uh would I take a liberal over a fascist? I might. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
If I had to make an educated, like, decision in that moment, like, does it still make me queasy and nauseous? Yeah, absolutely, because, like, from my perspective, liberals will foment the rise of fascism, right? Like, they have this weird notion that they can, like, contain fascism. And but I also think that in some ways, liberals are a little bit more amenable to some of the arguments that, like, socialists will make. Um, that it certainly, like, opens up, an avenue for them to be pulled to the left, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
that that is greatly evidenced by the fact that each of these like, we're watching these videos of Stephanie and Maura right now, and whether they agree with it or not, they understand that they have to moderate leftward in order to, in order to actually get the votes they need in order to win.
Yeah. Well, and also another thing is this whole military support thing as well. Like the like, oh yeah, I've been in the military. Like I love the military, and then like that's all well and good, but are you going to show your support for the military by going ahead and signing off on any war no matter what? Or is it going to be more like, oh, I support, a bill to better take care of like, vets or something like that? Because that's a very
Right.
important distinction, I think. Like, are you going to be in
Right. Do
support
you
of like
support
the military industrial complex, like no matter what, like all wars are just, like if as long as the US is doing it type deal? Because there are a lot of Democrats that vote that way.
Yeah, do you support the unhoused and, drug addicted veterans of war that, are facing serious problems with an underfunded VA, or do you support the military industrial apparatus that will continue sending young people to fight and die in wars across the planet? Which version of the military do you support?
Right.
Which version of the military supports you? Where how like, eh, I would ask the question, like, do you have the support of Veterans for Peace?
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. To good way to put it.
And when I got into this race, I printed out lists and I called up folks all around the country who know that the path to Democrats taking back the House and taking back the Senate runs through New Hampshire and have historically supported our Democratic federal delegation, Jean Shaheen, Maggie Hassan, Maggie Goodlander, and Chris Pappas. I think that's pretty good company. And so I'm proud to have their support. I'm also proud to have the support of veterans right here in our state and all around our country.
And other candidates are now giving back this money. Is that something you're going to do? It sounds like you said you're proud of the donations, but are you going to give them back?
Yeah, again, I'm not focused on that. I'm not focused on it. I'm focused on, I'm not focused on
Short
the
answer,
lies
no.
that
What a good answer. Just
Short
any
answer, I'm not focused on that.
what a great way to get out of answering for anything. Just Trump has the whole like fake news didn't happen. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
just be like, I'm not focused on that. Like
Fucking incredible. Alright, can we need to get off this video because we have other stuff that we have
okay.
to talk about, but, like, I do wanna if you can skip a little bit forward, I
Yep.
do just wanna get to her talking about healthcare. So let's just, I think the Chiron will change, so you can
And is spreading about me. I'm focused on the 90% of our contributions, which are $100 or below. I'm focused on running and fighting for the people of New Hampshire. Look,
yes,
people
vote
are
on
hurting.
Medicare for
You have
position on
Medicare for
Medicare
all candidates.
My policy is Medicare for all who want it, which was originally part of what the ACA intended was to have a public option. And here's why. I'm focused on what I can get
So in short, no.
done right
Yeah,
away in
and I'm
Washington.
gonna let
I'm
this.
focused on how I can put money back in people's pockets yesterday because Granite Staters are hurting. I was at a small business in Laconia recently. Guy literally told me, I got 12 employees I want to promote. Can't do it because of healthcare costs. Dad on the Seacoast, I can't go to, my kid's school drop off without hearing from a fellow young parent that, hey, I might not take my kid to the pediatrician because of healthcare costs. Woman in the Lakes region broke down crying.
Okay, pause this shit because she's just listing off anecdotes, and that's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason I want to talk about this is because we need to, once again, it's been said on this show before, it's been said on Locally Sourced before, it's been said a bunch of times, but it always bears repeating. The problem with a public option is that if you say we're going to create sort of like two distinct pools, we're going to create separate lines, right? What it means is that by not creating a single payer, right? One payer, which is the government, by not consolidating all insurance into one specific bucket, you're shrinking the amount of money that exists in order for the system itself to operate, right? You're reducing the amount of available cash to provide adequate healthcare for people, right? If you make it opt in and then you have a certain amount of wealthy people that pull out of that and say, no, I'm going to stick with the private market, right? You're keeping vast, vast, vast amounts of money out of public access, right? And what that results in is it results in poorer performance for those public option recipients, right? Which then produces an argument of, look, this isn't working. We tried this. We tried doing this. And it simply doesn't work. So the conservatives and like this like center right liberals will make the argument, well, see, it didn't work. We need to go back to a private health insurance system. You can't we tried doing a version of socialized healthcare and it's not effective. It doesn't work. And it's like,
Like it's
yeah,
designed to
it's
not.
because you did a half measure. Right, you picked a scheme, you picked an apparatus that is specifically designed to fail,
They
so that you
picked
can
the.
make the argument that it's not going to work.
It's
So,
the
like,
ACA
when
was
you do this
literally
yeah,
a Mitt Romney Heritage Foundation fucking sponsored thing, dude. Like that was gonna be his plan if he had won the presidency.
right,
Like it's not
right, it
like when
is
everyone's like, "Oh, Obamacare, blah blah blah, goddamn Obamacare," and it's like, he that was a compromise that he did like with Republicans at the time. A lot of people don't
and
fucking
the
even know that. Like,
and the reason that we lost the public option when Obama tried to do it was Joe Lieberman, right? Joe Lieberman, who was running for VP, um, I with Al Gore, right? Like he it was yeah, he was a Democrat. Independent Democrat caucus with and chaired committees for the Democratic Party. So a Democrat stripped that out. Like Joe Lieberman was like by setting Joe Lieberman as the VP pick for Al Gore, that was sort of the signal to the right wing. They're
yeah,
like, oh no, we'll still listen to you. We'll still hear your, we're gonna give you a seat in power. You know what I mean? We're gonna
right.
that's
That'd be
fine.
like picking like Joe Manchin for your VP or something.
Right, exactly, exactly. Um, so it's the this is historically Democrats cutting off their nose to spite their face,
Yeah, because they just
and
always
more is
have
just
to be.
sticking with that tradition.
Everything has to be bipartisan, or for the sake of bipartisanship, not for the sake of actually getting anything done for people. But they just want to impress their Republican buddies or something.
Right. not like very, very dissimilar to the bipartisanship of the partnership of Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, who joined forces despite all of the immense vehement disagreements the two of them have to get the Epstein files released. There's there are
I mean,
different
that's
kinds
a
of
good
bipartisanship.
example of like
Right,
the bipartisanship you want to see is like, two
right.
politicians that are on the opposite spectrum when it comes to a lot of things, but agree on like one single issue that they want to, move forward. And that's the kind of shit we actually need. Not this like,
Right.
oh, well, I'll work with you, but only if you take, 90% of the thing out of the bill that you're trying to pass and add a bunch of stuff that we want in it as well.
Right. And that's actually like, to sort of bring it back home to New Hampshire for a second and give the man some flowers, right? That was one of the things that made Heath Howard a fantastic representative in the state house. Is because he would do that exact kind of deal cutting, right? That is the type of bipartisanship you should be looking for, right? So we don't just decry bipartisanship in its entirety, right? That's not something that you just write off wholesale and say, no, we need absolute intense tribalism to exist, right? You need to be able to identify when you can pull somebody on the opposite side of the aisle from you over to your side of the aisle over like one fucking specific issue. And
Yeah.
that is, yeah, see, anti-war stuff, right, exactly.
Yeah.
That is precisely it, is that there are very, very specific opportunities and moments where you can really fucking make a huge goddamn difference by leveraging bipartisanship if you're intelligent enough to do so. You can use it as a way to fuck the people over, or you can use it as a way to actually help the people, and there's a big difference, and everybody should understand the exact differences between those 2 things and when it's right and when it's wrong. This is I'm not saying this to sound like a motherfucking centrist. Holy shit. I'm saying this to say this as a way to help people have a nuanced understanding of how, like, inside the halls of power, like, craftsmanship that benefits the people actually works. That shit is really fucking important.
Yeah, whatever, shit lib. No.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, man.
All right, I think
Compliment
we're
taken.
think we're done
Yeah,
with this
let's
one. I think she's just gonna go off on some
yeah, yeah,
examples.
yeah, we gotta move on because we're, like, already running out of time, but we will be able to bounce back to CD1, and talk
Co-sponsored a
about
bill
that.
to repeal the selective service with Tom and Mannion. Republic. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, see? It's like, you can do that shit.
it is possible to do
That's a real
good
thing that can
things.
get done.
But yeah, here ACLU sues New Hampshire State Police over access to public records of ICE agreement. Which is, I think, the problem is that there is none. They're not giving them the public records.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, that the whole word public kind of like usually implies that the public has access to these public records. Let me just go over to the statement from ACLU New Hampshire Deputy Legal Director here. The New Hampshire State Police have been in a partnership with ICE to enforce federal immigration law, and granted staters deserve to know exactly what they've been doing. Right now, the full nature and scale of the state police's federal immigration enforcement work is a mystery to the public, and that violates our state's right to know law.
Yeah, because they're fucking public records. The
Yeah,
word public is in the fucking name of the record type. Like, dude,
insane.
why is this hard? Why is this hard for people? I don't understand, man.
And why is no one talking about this? I literally searched this in YouTube, and you know what came up? This show. Like, what the
Are you
fuck?
serious right now?
That's it? Yeah. We're the
Why the
only
fuck are
ones
we the only
on
ones
YouTube
discussing
talking
this?
about this.
Why? Why? I mean, I guess cool, at least we're filling a niche, but holy shit.
Like, yeah, this is not good. Not good stuff. Just like everyone's so outraged, like on one side or another about like law enforcement and the Trump administration and Republicans like to claim the mantle of we are the law and order like party, but the law's for thee, but not for me. That is how they kind of
Right.
go with that.
And it's incredible stuff, dude.
Yeah, so let's check this article out. The ACLU of New Hampshire is suing the state police, accusing the agency of being a black box when it comes to informing the public about its involvement in federal immigration enforcement, which is accurate. I mean, yeah, Blake does even just said here. Like Keene just had a city meeting over this because people were like, "Oh, what the hell is ICE doing in here? Like, our police don't have a contract with them," and they had to figure that shit out. The lawsuit argues that the New Hampshire Division of State Police is violating the state's right to know law by failing to provide public records in a timely manner. The ACLU said its requests for documents are months old and haven't received any substantive response from the agency. The requests are related to state police's 287G agreement with ICE, which deputizes troopers to assist federal agents with enforcing immigration law. These contracts offer federal funding to local and state police agencies across the country and authorize them to arrest and interrogate people for immigration warrants or suspected immigration violations while carrying out their standard operations. Local agencies can also issue immigration detainers and transport them to ICE-approved detention centers. These agreements are becoming more common nationwide, though New Hampshire is the only state in New England to sign on during President Donald Trump's second term. Thank you, Governor Ayotte.
Jesus Christ.
For encouraging, the people to join. Yeah, she encouraged local police departments to join. Super fun.
Live free or die unless you love having boot shoved down your throat, in which case, never mind.
Yep. The ACLU argued that the state's police's delay of releasing information related to these efforts leaves the public in the dark. Indeed, it does. This is the quote I read before, I think. Or no, this is a different one. The full nature and scale of the state police's implementation of this program and how it enforces federal immigration law, including how many people the state police have detained under the program, and what factors a trooper may consider in assessing whether there is reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe that there has been a violation of federal immigration laws, remains a mystery to the public. Well, we know that Lake and Riley Act. If you're suspected of a crime and you're the wrong skin tone, you can be pulled over and, gaffled up for fucking literally nothing.
Yeah, it's like national stop and frisk type shit.
Yeah. Which, that whole thing was implemented. Well, the stop and frisk was implemented in New York, and they got rid of that because, it's fucking unconstitutional.
Because it was fucking racist and unconstitutional. Yeah, exactly. It was literally like it was giving a specific opportunity for the New York Police Department to just stop and go after random black people that they thought were committing a crime. It was literally a racist law.
It was literally like they wanted to implement the old 80s 90s cop movie tactic of like, oh, you see a guy that looks shady, go fucking rough him up, see if he's got information, fucking it was insane.
Profiling. Yeah, it allowed for profiling. And this is the same. Lake and Riley does the same shit.
Yep. Just, on a national level. So isn't that fun?
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not. They can just do that. We got a little more here. Oh yeah, and the full lawsuit is here on the Concord Monitor website. So they got the full PDF of the ACLU lawsuit here. 37 pages.
Hold me down for a second. I gotta take care of my dog really quick, but I'll be back in like 2 moments.
Yeah, no problem. I'll read off the rest of this here real quick.
Yeah, read it through. I'll be right back.
So the New Hampshire Department of Safety, which houses the Division of State Police, declined to comment on the story because of the pending lawsuit and referred questions to the Attorney General's office, which I'm sure they were very happy to answer. Quote, we would not comment on pending litigation other than to note that it is our understanding that the New Hampshire State Police has not received any funds in connection with its 287G agreement. Michael Garrity, a spokesperson for the Attorney General Office, said in a statement. Huh. Well, that's interesting. So they have signed the agreement, but they are not getting federal funds that were supposed to subsidize these police departments for fulfilling their role in the agreement. Interesting. So they're just doing it for the fun now, I guess. I don't know. New Hampshire's right to know law says it exists to, quote, ensure both the greatest possible public access to the actions, discussions, and records of all public bodies and their accountability to the people. Guidance issued in a 2024 from Attorney General John Fromella instructs government bodies to develop processes that ensure public records requests are handled in a timely manner. Henry, I'm really bad with names. If I hear it once, I'll be able to get it, but I'm going to skip for now. Deputy Legal Director at the ACLU of New Hampshire said the organization requested documents related to all encounters and detentions of alleged non-citizens by state police since the agreement was signed, and copies of the training materials used by troopers who are qualified by ICE to carry out these actions. It also requested reports pertaining to several specific encounters. Quote, we know that the New Hampshire State Police, which has been the largest agency in the state, has entered into one of these agreements to cooperate with ICE, but at the same time, they're not sharing the information we believe they are required to about this program. In its reasoning for extending response deadlines by months at a time, state police cited, quote, current workloads, personnel involved, and pending requests submitted prior to yours, according to the lawsuit. So apparently they're already getting sued by other people. So their excuse for not getting the records is that they're already involved in requests from other people.
Sorry, we can't get these records because other people are also suing us for these records. So
Right.
there's way too many lawsuits, and we're too focused on dealing with the lawsuits than actually delivering the materials that everybody's suing us for not delivering.
Right.
We can't
Well,
deliver
it
them.
doesn't. I
We
don't
can't
think
deliver them
there.
because
That's an
we're being
actual.
sued too much.
Yeah. It's not
It's
even.
like,
It's
oh,
not
well,
even
you know what?
lawsuits though. It's pending requests of like the information. So, what can they not get the information and like email that shit all out at once, or print them all at the same time, or what's the deal here? As well as
Government
apparently they.
inefficiency, Kyle.
Oh yeah. They So they're not even getting paid according to the agreement though either. They have not received any funds in connection with its 287G agreement. So
They don't even necessarily need to receive funds to participate, right? Like the the New Hampshire State Police could easily be getting stiffed by ICE and still be like they could be participating. They would do, oh yeah, we'll pay you on the back
according
end.
to
We'll
them,
pay
it
you when the
is.
job's over, and then they're just fucking getting stiffed. And it's like, well, yeah. So wouldn't it actually benefit you guys and the eyes of the public to just issue out all this stuff and maybe not have a fucking participation with ICE into the 287G program? Like you're making yourselves you're fucking yourselves on both ends of the wick, right? Like you're burning it on both sides. Like you're completely undermining yourselves entirely, and the only thing you're gonna have holding you up at the end of the day is chud ass losers that have a fucking black American flag with a blue stripe going through the middle of it that are just like, yeah, I'll stand for my local police, right? Like,
Yeah,
dog,
and like
like
we've said before, that's literally just taking away from them being able to investigate like actual crimes happening like in communities. So, because they're all busy,
yeah.
searching for like people with the wrong skin tone that they think may be here without paperwork, even though half the time it like people they find are like do have proper paperwork is what yeah. I mean, ICE is taking people from court hearings where they are going through the process to get citizenship. So, like, what's their excuse for that? Like, we only want people coming here the right way. Like, okay, well, ICE just fucking tackled somebody and took them out of a court hearing where they, like, you know, were fucking doing the process, and they didn't
I
get.
mean, they don't need help, dude. They have a bigger budget than most militaries in the world.
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
insane.
Like, are you, it's just stupid. This is all just an attempt to like rob the public. Literally,
Yeah. This
like
is your New Hampshire
it's
taxes
like we're
hard at work, dude. They're out trying to find, you know, the people with the bad skin tone to get them out of here. Get them out.
right. It's like we'll throw half the fucking population into prisons or deport them to countries that they've never fucking been to before, and then the other half will just rob blind. It's gonna be great, guys. This is exactly what our plan is. Like, I, for the life of me, do not understand why non-authoritarian right wingers aren't like vociferously against this.
Yeah.
I cannot. It blows my mind. Um, it is incredibly unprincipled and like you know, maybe you should change the color of your flare on political compass memes, dog.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people's political position is what's good for me. And that's it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Let's go a little bit more here. The ACLU has also cited separate legal action from the Boston Globe. Records produced from that case showed a months-long delay in NH State Police corresponding with ICE about the disclosure of records and failure to produce them for several weeks after ICE approved the release. So yeah, I guess you're right about that whole lawsuit thing there. Too many lawsuits. Sorry guys, we can't handle this. We need more staff. Give us more funding for so that we can get these records together to tell you how we're, you know. When responding to records requests pertaining to immigration and ICE, local police departments are instructed to seek approval from ICE before releasing documents to the public, according to the lawsuit. The ACLU argued that in the lawsuit that New Hampshire's public records law trumps unilateral directives from ICE, and yeah, that is how that works, I believe.
Yep.
Like they can't just arbitrarily be like, "This is how it works. You report to us. Don't talk to the public about nothing." Like I don't think they have that power. But all right, guess you just go with it. New Hampshire State Police signed on to its memorandum with ICE in April of 2025. As of September 2025, at least 58 troopers were or had planned to participate in the program, according to the lawsuit. Statewide, 24 local police departments have signed 287G agreements, as have 3 county sheriff's offices. Some, like the Carroll and Colebrook police departments, have already received more than $100,000 in federal money for assisting ICE. So it looks like some places are getting paid. Although, you know,
I'm sure.
somebody should tell the AG's office rep that in fact, like, some of these places are getting paid, so they don't put out any accidental false information.
Yep. And then I just, you know, like to kind of maybe put a little bow on this. This conversation does relate back to a different bit of coverage that we had done like a week or two ago, um, where we were talking about the if you want to know more about this, the participation, like, yeah, this is like a Google map with data that has pins on it, but NHPR has that nice little interactive map of the state that'll show you exactly which police departments, which jurisdictions have agreed to the 287G program. And we talked about it a little bit more there. So it's just, you know, like we're just trying to stick with this a little bit for you guys because this is incredibly important. Like this is the actual Gestapo fascist scourge that's um that's hitting us. So we're, you know, like, and this pairs nicely with all of the stuff that we talk about when we're talking about flock and the mass surveillance, right? Like this is all sort of part of the broader angle of coverage that we're trying to do here on News Dive for you guys. Because
Yeah.
it's important to sort of keep this stuff up and visible. Everybody knows that I hate short form content. I'm sure some of this will get clipped up and shoved up there because we have to, keep promoting the channel and everything like that. But it can be good for raising awareness for all the college students and moms and blue collar workers that are hitting the doom
The old
scroll a little bit on
feeds.
break or in between, preparing meals or dropping the kids off or whatever, in between class. That's a good way to hit people in a quick moment, but it is important to kind of, like, reel people back in and be like, "Hey, if you're gonna, if you're gonna cook a meal, maybe pop us on and listen to it in longer form. Hear us talk about it." Like,
Right.
so that you're not just taking everything in these tiny little bite-sized 3-minute chunks, 3
Yeah,
minutes
I
or
mean,
less.
this all has to do with like the authoritarian state that is being built here, like day by day, like in all the the privatization as well of these surveillance systems and just ways for the government, more ways for the government to violate your Fourth Amendment rights and just you know yeah. Definitely, definitely
Yeah.
good to keep up with, so what exactly is happening, and what you have to say at town meetings and to your local reps. Be like, hey, fucking, don't you dare vote for this shit. Like, don't, like, do not do a partnership.
Right, right, exactly. Um, so, let's do the trade war stuff, and then we'll bounce back and see if, by the time
Yeah,
we're done with that, if we have any word from chat about the interview with Carly that was happening over on NH Talk. And then we can cover, so we'll talk about the trade war stuff, and we can circle back on that.
that's right. We're back with Trump considers renaming Lake Ontario as Lake America as trade war with Canada escalates. This is so stupid. I just gotta say that.
Yeah,
I just had to
yeah,
say that one.
yeah.
Not allowed there.
No, this is like
Oh,
this
by
is
the
some
way,
of the most
actually,
embarrassing shit that I could possibly think of. It's just so embarrassing.
this is actually update from today. He did sign an executive order to do that. We'll have to see if people just obey the edicts. These this isn't law or anything. This isn't legislation. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like half of Lake Ontario belongs to Canada.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just unilaterally just rename like land, like whether it's land or fucking water. Like, what? Like, huh? Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we filed all the necessary papers, documents, everything else. We notified all of the various people that we have to notify. So we've done everything that you have to do. And this is official, effective immediately. Do you have any questions, anybody?
Mr. President.
Yes.
That video you put up yesterday of you crossing out Lake Ontario and writing Lake America, it's been seen by like 30 million people, maybe more, across all the social media platforms.
Wait, hold on. So did he just like marker it like he did with the hurricane that one time? He's just like, it's actually America. Holy shit, this is so fucking stupid. Oh my god. They're asking him about a video though, like instead of the actual like substance of that. Okay, all right. Fuck that. We're gonna go to the actual substance of it. I just had to play that because it was really stupid.
Fucking. Oh
But
my
yeah,
god,
you
dude!
know,
I'm so.
another trade war for zero goddamn reason, just like literally out of nowhere. Apparently, we need to charge a bunch of tariffs for Canada imports now, and Canada's like,
With a
okay,
country,
well, we're gonna do the same exact thing if you do that, then.
with a country we have a fucking free trade agreement with, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Like, it
actually,
used to be NAFTA, it got torn up, and now it's the USMCA.
yeah.
What? Like, that is our biggest land border. The amount of, like, energy and raw materials that are necessary for the American fucking economy that pass back and forth over that border, like cars. Like, most American manufactured cars, those parts travel back and forth over the US-Canada border multiple times in the production of those vehicles.
Yep. Yeah, we are
It's
so
it is
back.
the
America's back,
stupidest fucking
baby.
thing.
This is making America great as fuck right now, you know? Oh, Carly interview ended a few minutes ago. Ah, I see.
Cool.
I
Nice,
see.
nice, nice, nice,
Well,
nice.
now that everyone's back, you know what? I just have to. I gotta play the thing. I forgot to play my special intro for this one.
I really think we're helped a lot by the tariff situation that's going on, which is a good situation.
So how are we feeling? Is this a good situation? Are we making is America great yet?
Was that the face of the Tariff-ier, like the horror
He
movies?
is the
Hell yeah,
Tariff-ier.
dude. Oh, okay. Alright, alright, alright. We're here,
All right.
we're with it.
All right, let's see what's going on with this.
As you first heard here on the 11th hour on Friday, intensive trade talks between the United States and
Very
Canada
intense.
collapsed
Zoom in
late
there.
last week. Both sides blame each other for the impasse. As a result, Donald Trump imposed 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian goods, including plywood, beer, and dairy. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney responded by promising to retaliate dollar for dollar, adding that his country was attacked and is now, quote, at war with the United States. Trump is now threatening to go further, vowing new tariffs on cars, trucks, auto parts, and steel. As the Wall Street Journal's editorial board writes, quote, President Trump took exception last year when we called his tariffs against Canada and Mexico the dumbest trade war in history. It got dumber this weekend. In addition to a host of economic demands, Prime Minister Carney says American negotiators also tried to prevent Canada from forging trade deals with other nations and restrict protections for Canadian culture, notably Quebec's French language laws. And that was a red line for Carney, who said Canada is, quote, not prepared to compromise on our sovereignty, the protection.
Like, what does any of this have to do with us? Like, how does this help anyone? What are we doing here? What the fuck is he talking about? Like, we don't like it when you guys speak French. You need to cut that shit out.
Sorry, Canada, if you want to work with us, you can't speak French anymore.
Like, what? Dude, like, huh?
Of the French language.
This is our backyard. Nobody speaks anything
United
but
States
English.
Trade
Yeah. Damn. Oh yeah, they forgot that this is our hemisphere.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You,
Yeah,
you guys thought it
next we're
ended
gonna
with
ban-
like, Venezuela and Cuba? Nuh-uh. This is our hemisphere, dude. Like you're
Yeah.
attached to us. You're part of this now.
countdown to banning Spanish in Central and South America.
Yeah. Can't be having that.
I'm waiting for it. I'm fucking waiting for it so hard.
Yeah.
Representative called that a fake story. The Toronto Star writes that Carney saw Trump's move as a, quote, attack on Canadian sovereignty and attempted psychological annexation that could have turned Canada into an American client state, a sort of North American Belarus, end quote. This entire ordeal has infuriated Canadians across the political spectrum. Doug Ford, the Conservative Premier of Ontario, Canada's most populous province, says Trump is a dictator and a bully and a loser who can, quote, kiss my ass. Trump responded in kind, calling the Prime Minister Governor Carney, a reference to Canada being made the 51st state, and calling Doug Ford his flunky, adding, quote, someone should get these clowns to fall in line, end quote. When asked about this by a reporter this afternoon, Doug Ford again referred to his posterior.
Again referred to his posterior. Is this Ford related to that dude that was a mayor? Was it like
Yes,
Robert Ford?
It's his brother.
Oh my
It's his
god,
brother,
yes.
Dude. Yeah.
Dude, I'm against political dynasties, but the Fords are fucking hilarious, man. I can't deny it, man. It's like, hell yeah, I smoke crack, so what? God. Fuck you. Like, eat my ass. I'm like, that was crazy. That was crazy. The most real, like, fucking, like, news comment I've ever heard from that dude.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible stuff, dude. Like, oh, God. I love that man so much. I'm like, rest in power, dude.
Yep.
Rest in absolute power. Like, like, just fucking legend. Fucking absolute legend.
Tell you to ask you to tone it down a bit?
No, he didn't. I'm not going to comment, but he wasn't against that. And I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass. So
Well done.
I just do. I'm a big dude. What can I say?
The consequences of Trump turning America into an unreliable trade partner are already evident. Canada has been expanding its economic ties with other countries, including a major new deal with China, in which Canada imports Chinese electric vehicles and China imports more Canadian agricultural goods.
Dude, oh man, time for a fucking trip to Canada. Fuck. Like, I need a car. The fuck? Damn, it's fucking over when fucking China's Canada's letting the fucking EVs in, dude. It's, dude. Our fucking.
Can we do the AI slot video? Can we watch it?
Oh my god, yes. Yep. Hold on, let me play this.
You got the link. You got the link ready for it? Can we do this?
I don't have it pulled up, but let me get it. Let me get it.
I think it's in the gen chat.
Oh yeah.
Or it might be in memes. I can't remember which one. I sent it though.
Yes, I remember. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is good stuff. This should explain things a little better than we can, I think, you know.
Right.
Our neighbor declared a trade war over lumber and steel and a whole lot more. Tariffs came signed by an orange hand, trying to take whatever they can. They thought we'd fall without a fight, just carry on and stay polite. Instead we rally side by side, the Canadian resistance comes alive. Oh, we're gonna trade war, marching on while the bagpipes roar. Oh, we're gonna trade war, beavers and moose won't take it anymore. Bring your tariffs, bring your fight, we'll answer back with all our might. Oh, we're gonna trade war, elbows up from shore to shore.
Dude, you can't deny though, this is what like every American thinks of the Canadian military is. Like this is
so like this is the reality that Canada and America are the same fucking country. Like Canada and the US are the same. They wouldn't do this if they weren't exactly like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just so like the first time I saw this, I was literally in fucking
what
tears,
the
dude.
fuck? Most won't take it anymore.
Elbows up from shore to shore. Farmers pour rivers of syrup across the ground. The trucks that get through get stuck out of town. Lobsters snip their fishing nets apart. Every fish gets a brand new start. Black bears track smugglers through the pines. They never make it past the border signs. And when the smoke has drifted by, the Canadian flag still flies. Oh, we're gonna trade war. Marching on while the bagpipes roar. Oh, we're gonna trade war. We won't take it anymore.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, at least it's I don't think it's the government putting this out, like, you know, the AI slap
No.
that like the actual fucking US government is putting out.
No, like this is just like some like random like Canadian grandma quilter like wrote a prompt to have this produced. And this is a bad AI slop, right? Like this is
fire.
garbage. This is
I don't know what
this
you're
is
talking about, dude.
absolute
This is
trash,
it.
but at the same
This is
time, it's
real.
fucking brilliant and hilarious. Like
No
I-
AI
it-
use. This is the actual
it's
Canadian
just
military.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you go up to Canada, what you're gonna run into is a bunch of bears wearing tactical gear and night
Yes.
vision goggles.
Yes.
That's what you're gonna get if
Try
you go
to
to
fucking
Canada.
cross that border. I don't think so.
Fuck, dude. Okay. So, yeah, that's so we have to have some lighter moments on this show, guys. There's a
We're
lot of
not so
doom and
different,
gloom.
you and I. You know, that's our moment
Really?
right there.
Oh wow. Oh, we Americans and y'all Canadians have more in common than we don't. That's just the reality.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
In addition, Canada has accelerated plans to export a significant amount more crude oil to China. Joining me now is Justin Wolfers, professor of public policy and economics at the University of Michigan and the host of Platypus Economics. Justin, something you know, but many Americans may not know, is that Mark Carney is a liberal and Doug Ford is a conservative. And I mean, obviously in Canada, the spectrum is a little narrower, but these guys are on opposite sides of the political spectrum. This trade war with Canada has united Canadians in not a great way regarding America.
Absolutely. I actually think there's something really quite important for those of us on this side of the border to understand, which is to the Canadians, this is not a trade war.
Wait, is this an Australian Canadian with a fucking podcast called like the Platypus something? What the fucking what?
There's your Aussie giveaway.
Damn.
Look, the trade wars, tariffs, friends can figure stuff like that out. The real turning point in this relationship came when Trump started joking about making Canada the 51st state, made it clear that he didn't care about their consent, and actually said that he would use the United States' economic power to force it into submission. Look, I don't know what was in the president's heart at the time. Presumably this is some sort of a joke, but it turns out that when you tell another country you want to take over, whether they like it or not, they just don't take it well. And that, I think, so for the Canadians, this is an existential threat.
Yes.
For the United States, this is a trade war.
Right.
And you need to, that fundamentally changes everything. And I just want to point one more thing out. This was so dumb. Your job as a politician is to make it easy for the other side to say yes.
Yeah.
Like, end of story. That's it. This is so dumb. Like, the end. Like, what, like, they're even struggling, like, these experts are struggling to even fucking come up with something intelligent to say, like, this is fucking stupid, dude. Like, I don't even know, man. Like, why?
This is the only thing we can do. This is literally the only thing we can do is just talk about how dumb it is. There's really no more commentary than that. It's just stupid. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. It's absurd. It's like it's comedic. It like that's
It's like,
like
"Oh, apparently, citizens of certain countries don't like it when you threaten to annex them." Like, oh yeah, no, you think?
next at 11, water is wet, the sky is blue, and grass is
I
green.
mean, dude, like Trump was talking about wanting to fucking like steal Greenland, and then like recently they just set up fucking like offshore drilling there, like from an American company without fucking approval. Like, what do you think? Like, people are gonna see that and be like, oh, well, his threats are all fucking not serious.
Dude, like it's like almost hard to provide commentary on this because there's nothing like there's no actual like basis for it, right? Like there's no like political chess or checkers that are being played. Like it's it's just like it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like a dumb crazy dude being dumb and crazy.
On August
Ooh.
22nd,
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the Minister of Finance announcing their retaliatory tariffs.
on
This
August
I'm genuinely
22nd,
curious about.
the United States of America imposed tariffs on 50% on approximately 28 billion in Canadian goods. Those tariffs will have real consequences for Canadian workers, businesses, and communities across our nation. Canada must respond, and today we are, in a proportionate, targeted, and strategic way. Today I'm announcing that Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate. Effective September 8th, Canada will impose counter tariffs of up to 15, 25, or 50% on 27.6 billion in imports from the United States of America. For each product, our tariff would match the American tariff on the same type of Canadian good. Our existing counter tariffs, including those on automobiles, will remain in place. Canada's remission framework will also remain available to mitigate unintended consequences for Canadian businesses. Canada's counter tariffs are designed primarily to provide protection for Canadian industry impacted by U.S. tariffs and allow them to compete against U.S. products in the Canadian market. It's all about fairness. It's all about level playing field. It's all about supporting Canadian workers and Canadian businesses.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't know anything about that type of shit here.
You lose your
second.
mic again? What happened? You okay?
I just have to copy that over to the other page. Whoopsie. But as I was gonna say is, yeah, it's just it's stupid.
I just like
We're
I just
cost of
really
living
wanna
crisis.
remind
Like we're in a fucking war that we're losing in the Middle East. Can't fucking supply our own goddamn like Navy vessels with the supplies. But let's start a trade war and make everything more expensive for everyone for no goddamn reason.
Yeah. So I there is I can send it to you so you can throw it up on the screen just because I want to try and like center this back a little bit on New Hampshire. And show chat. Like call chat. And I'm happy to read this out.
Yeah.
Not that long.
Is it the in-depth?
Yeah.
One sec.
So this is a quick op-ed that we'll read. I mean, usually I don't like to hop onto op-eds, but I do think this is probably just important to talk about. So we're just gonna, obviously Governor Ayotte remains silent. Big shocker there. Um, but this is important right here. So Canada is New Hampshire's largest trading partner. We export between 800 million and 1.4 billion worth of New Hampshire products annually to Canada. Canada also supplies New Hampshire with a number of major products, including 70% of our natural gas and 50% of our gasoline. As a result, Canada will impose tariffs on goods coming to New Hampshire, dollar for dollar, raising the cost of these important products. While prices for goods shipped to Canada from New Hampshire will cost more there and reduce sales. And beyond that, the New Hampshire tourism industry has greatly suffered because of Trump's actions. Yeah, we already know that.
Yeah. Just look
Canadians
at
are
Bike Week.
right. Canadians are declining to vacation in New Hampshire because of their anger toward Trump's trade policies and rhetoric. We have experienced nearly a 30% decline in Canadian tourism, costing New Hampshire economy millions of dollars. The net effect of Trump's ridiculous trade war with Canada will have a severe and negative impact on New Hampshire's people, economy, and our businesses. Unfortunately, our governor has done nothing to convince Mr. Trump that his trade policies will severely harm our state. Apparently, Governor Ayotte is too timid to confront Mr. Trump, fearing political backlash and retribution from him, thereby putting her own political safety above the economic security of our state. While Governor Ayotte remains silent, the right-wing editorial board of the Wall Street Journal wrote that Trump's tariff war on Canada was, quote, the dumbest trade war in history, and that it, quote, makes no economic or political sense. We need a governor who puts up to New Hampshire, puts New Hampshire's people and economy first, even if it means taking political risks by opposing Mr. Trump, who she supported in for president 2024. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
she's scared of getting funding cut from New Hampshire, I think is what it is. She just doesn't want to step out of line to like not one tiny little fucking bit. That's why she's like, yeah, come on in, election monitors. Like, come on in,
right. So
ICE, we love you.
I just really want to impress this point upon people that this is happening as like I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you guys what fucking time of the year it is, and the fact that we are going into fall and winter.
Mm-hmm.
So when the major provider of the primary source of like one of the primary sources of heating for people in the state is now we are at a dollar for dollar back and forth trade war with that country. You are paying for that. Like Cindy Warmington just got like that is a boondoggle for her, right?
Yeah.
Like
and
do nothing.
Right now we're running off of reserves. Like the only reason that gas prices went down is because we opened up reserves in the US. Like once that's gone, we're fucked. They're all going right back up. And
right,
they're
exactly.
going way further up, like if this fucking stupid trade war continues.
Right. And what everybody also needs to keep in mind is that like gas prices, oil prices are global. That is a global market. So like when you fuck it, you are fucking it like yeah, it's done. Like you like this is like we have created a global like economy that runs entirely on fossil fuel.
And
We have
another
not
thing,
done what China has done to try and electrify our grid, to try and switch over to renewables. In fact, fucking Don Quixote himself has made it a mission to ban all fucking windmills.
yeah, and people will respond with like, "Oh, well, the U.S. is like one of the top exporters of, crude oil, so therefore we'll be all fine if we just isolate." But the problem is, like, we're exporters. We don't refine that shit ourselves. We don't make our own gasoline. That's the problem here, is that we don't have the infrastructure to use our own resources at the moment, and that's a decades-long project if you want to do something like that.
Right, like, you can say, "Oh, well, we just took all of Venezuela's oil," like, yeah, there's only a handful of refineries in the US, and by a handful, I mean, like, a couple down south that are capable of refining that particular type of crude, right? That thick, sticky crude, not the same kinda, like, nice, like, slick stuff that comes from Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
So, like and then the and it's like, yes, we do have oil reserves in the United States. Most of it is accessed by fracking, which causes massive environmental damage. You're talking about the amount of drilling that needs to occur by just destroying national park land in Alaska, reserve land in Alaska, right? Like this isn't just like easily accessible. Okay. Like isn't there is specifics to how this works. And yeah, we just shot ourselves in both kneecaps with like a sawed-off shotgun using birdshot. And now it's not just the kneecap that's blown out, it's all the tendons in the back. We are done.
Yep. Yep. Pretty fucked. But at least we're halfway through this presidency. Woo! What could possibly go wrong in 2 short years?
How do you speed run the collapse of a global hegemon that has never existed in the history of humankind?
I
This is
mean,
how it
he's
goes.
doing his best, I think. So
Look, there is a
there's a
reason that
conspiracy.
he has there's a reason that he has garnered a name from the left, and that would be JD Pondon.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everybody to go look up what JD Pond means. It's an acronym. I'll leave it there. I'll let you guys are all smart people. You guys can go figure that out. The only reason I'm not going into it is because like it's 9:16 and we need to get to the polling data.
Oh yes. Let me bring that up. Meow. All right, here we go.
Cool. So, this was asked of me earlier, so I want to start out by addressing this on the front. Um, do I think Karishma Manzoor can win? Yeah. Yeah, I do think Karishma Manzoor can win. That's not a very big point gap.
Yeah, she's been
That is a
doing
close
nothing
point
but
gap.
going up, and he's been doing nothing but going down since January.
Right. And like if you consider the point drop for Pappas, right? Between June and August, right? That's 2 months, right? He lost so much. Now, if you consolidate the media coverage to essentially like all of the amount of talk like in not just like mainstream media, right? Literally, like this poll is if you like when you go to look it up, it says in all capital letters, Chris Pappas's support is sliding, right? Like
Just a
that's like
bit.
yeah, literally the name of the document is Pappas support slides. Right? That's what
Like,
it starts out
whew.
with. The poll itself is literally like front loading that message. So like that alone, right? And that signals every single state like oriented private media outlet to because obviously the state doesn't own the media. But media in the state that signals to all of them that that's what you here's your headline. Like we're going to tell you what your headline is.
Yeah.
And so that's going to create a lot of like momentum on that side of it, right? And then that doesn't even touch the fact that there's just like a deluge of social media posts talking about this, right? Like if you go to like the subreddit for New Hampshire, I saw this come up over there. Because I like to look in different places and like that zone can be a bit more like, it obviously, it that is, like, a pretty left-wing, um, subset of the state, but it's not quite as left-wing as somebody might think,
Yeah, some people are pretty brutal over there when it comes to
Yeah.
this type of stuff. They're like, "Oh, I don't
Yeah,
think this
so
person has a chance." Like, don't care. Like, I'm only voting for the people that I believe have a chance at this very moment. Like,
yeah, and you hop in there, and it's nothing, but I'm supporting Christian Mansour. I think Christian Mansour can do this. I would've told you, like, people saying I would have told you weeks ago that there was no way this was gonna happen, and now that I'm seeing this, it changes the game entirely. Yeah, I think
yeah,
Karishma Mansour can win the primary. But, like, that's not that effort needs to quadruple, right? The amount of, like, serious work that needs to go in because, like, that's still a big gap to close, right?
right. We
That's
need to
still
get them
a
undecideds up
pretty
here.
Right. Like, you could, yes, the undecided itself is enough to close that point gap. That's true. But like, I think
I mean, some
that
people have
you
got to
could
be
actually
flipping from Pappas over to Karishma, like just
that is
based
my
on
point.
this.
That is exactly my point, is that you can do 2 things at once. You can chip away at the Papist support, and then you can also convince the 18% to go for her because that's real. And, like, we've got the debates next week, which, like, fun fun times. Kyle and I are going to spend the next week figuring out how to make sure that we can live stream the CD1 debate on stream. We are going to I promise you one, like, come hell or high water, we are gonna figure out how to fucking live stream and live react to that. So if you guys don't wanna give, WMUR your view, then you can come check us out. We'll do it with you.
Yeah.
We'll rip on it together. It'll be fun. Um, so at any rate, there's that. I couldn't believe it when I looked at the schedule. I was like, "Holy shit, they genuinely put CD1 on the same night that we do our stream." Like, this, like, I couldn't have asked for a better setup. Um So,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, it's yeah. So, yeah, just cheers, fam. I appreciate it. 'Cause that's like that's the most salacious one. Like, if you wanna give us a fucking boost to our channel, like, we'll take it, right? Like, and don't forget to go subscribe to Locally Sourced while you're at it.
Exactly.
But, um, at any rate, yeah, I do think Karishma Manzar can win. Um, if you had asked me this question 1 month ago, I would've been like, "Hmm, I don't know, man. I don't think so." Um, I would have been really sus, right? And that, like, I think part of the reason that I take that position, um, and why I still think it's like like, I just because I'm sitting here saying I think she can win, doesn't m I don't want people to conflate with that with I think she will win,
Yeah.
right? Those are 2 different statements.
Like it's definitely in the realm of possibility, is what you're saying.
Right. I think it's absolutely entertainable. And that's why I think it's that's why I'm saying the other part of it is like, I
Yeah.
don't think she will win. I don't
Well,
think
I
that's a
mean,
foregone conclusion, which means everybody needs to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple down
yeah.
on making sure that they get out there and send the messaging and push that shit. Because like
I mean, she
that's
has
that
like an extremely populist message, and like a lot of these people just like there's probably a lot of people that just haven't heard like or like her messaging out there that are just like, oh yeah, Pappas, I know him, he's a good Democrat, yeah, whatever, has my vote. And the more people actually hear about Karishma and like, you know, her policies and everything, I think that's what's like chipping away at, you know, Pappas's chances here. So, you know,
Yeah. No,
keep continuing
you're
that.
absolutely right. So, what I want you to do is I want you to scroll down to the next graph on it's at the top of the next page right there, that guy. Okay. So this is where this argument becomes really important, right? Because if you're so at this point we're speaking to the people that are going to like hop in, do phone banking, they're going to go do uh door knocking, stuff like that, right? You look at the on policies. Look at that.
Which is
That is
the entire crux of like what you're voting for is you're voting for policy.
right. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that should be the only one that matters.
Right.
Period. The fucking end. I don't give a fuck about past experience. I kind of don't even really give that much of a shit about politics or ideology. I really kind of don't give that much of a shit about authenticity or honesty. Um, Values are cool, I guess, but I mean, I think that all generally falls into like optics. Best chance of winning a general election is a stupid fucking thing to like. Who cares? Like what you're trying to convince every single fucking voter that they're suddenly a pundit? Like no, Shut the fuck up. That's stupid. That's moronic. That's not even a thing that voters should even be asked in the first place.
Best
Because I
chance
don't
of
think
winning?
it doesn't matter. It's like what what you're gonna like if you I know people do vote this way, so I'm not gonna sit
I
here and
mean,
pretend like it
this might
doesn't
as well be
work this way.
asking like who do you like about who is the establishment candidate? This is basically what that question boils down to.
Yeah, and it also is just like it's like that right there is like who I'm gonna vote for who I think has the chance of winning best chance of winning a general election is like I'm gonna vote not for myself, not for my own values, not for my own beliefs, not for my own interests. I'm going to vote based off of what I think everybody else cares about.
Yeah.
That's that is a way of looking at things that is like that is the fundamental design of trying to undermine democracy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that the whole point of thinking like that is to separate you as a person from your vote. That is literally you becoming a motherfucking sheep. Now, switch down preferable to alternative 5 to 3%. Bang, done. Copy that. We're fucking good there. Like obviously I'd prefer to see the numbers be slightly more like greater in the other direction, but like I do like that. I like that Karishma is showing up with more of a showing on that. Um, qualification or competence, that was actually part of, my Karishma is insanely competent, right? But there were times where I would see her presenting herself in media where, like, she didn't necessarily have, like, the level of media training that Chris Pappas has. So there were certain moments where I would see her, like, maybe not answer a question as directly as she could. You know what I mean? And not in a like, the way that Maura Sullivan did, where it was, like, incredibly calculated, right?
Yeah.
Um, whereas, like, I'm like, "We're not concerned with that." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that's impeccable media training right there. That's the same kind of media training that Chris Pappas has. For me, it was like it would always come off to me as though, like, Karishma had in her mind a question that she wanted to answer and would answer that question, not the question that was being asked of her. Now, like,
Right. Just trying to bring it
in
back to
recent
her
months
own like talking points to, represent her
Right,
campaign and stuff, but like you got to customize that shit for sure. Like you can
right,
bring it back to that, but you have to start off with like actually directly answering the question
responding.
and then going
Yeah,
to be like, and that's why I'm going to do this.
right, and look, like, it wasn't even necessarily that it was in disagreement with her in those moments, but it was more so like, "Hey, like, I agree with you on everything that you're saying, but, like, you did not answer the question that was being asked." And, like, I want you to be able to answer the question that's being asked because that will communicate to other people what your qualification and or competence is. Right? That's an optics thing. That's like, saying, like, you winning is super important to me, so I wanna make sure that your media training is, like, fucking top notch so that we don't get into situations where somebody can be like, "Geez, I don't know if she's ready or not. I don't know if she's really quite confident enough for me to fucking vote for her," because it's like,
Yeah, I
dude,
mean
who
that
gives a
was
shit? She's gonna fucking vote the way you need her to vote. It does
yeah.
none of that matters.
I mean that was
None of that actively matters.
this type of thing was like a huge talking point issue for like a couple months with the AOC and that question on China Taiwan.
Right.
So that just kind of like proves your point there that like people will
Yeah.
like latch on to any sort of like weakness that they perceive and just go after that. So you got to be like on point.
Right, no, and my point is, like, I'm like, "Dude, I see this incredible candidate in front of me who, like, if I look at every box on this list, I'm like, just about every single one of them that could possibly be ticked is ticked." And, like, I fucking need that candidate there, right? Um, I need that candidate there, but, like, I am worried about the morons that have really, really shitty prioritization how they determine whether or not a candidate is going to be successful. Because whether I like it or not, those people are still people that vote in the direction that I need them to vote in. So I can't just write them off. I can't just say that they don't exist. I have to make sure that when I'm addressing this stuff that we cater to those things. You know what I mean? Like those that has to be entertained and examined and pursued. So um and I think she's improving on. I think she's very much so improving on that. I like media training is a thing you can learn, right? That's not a static thing. That's not like
Yeah.
an intrinsic problem that exists with the candidate. That's something that can always be built on and grown and developed and pushed forward. Um, but yeah, I not that's this is fantastic news, and I'm really glad to see it because I was starting to get really fucking bummed about
I
it
mean, it's just
for a
fucking
while, but
like
I
10 versus 20%,
27. It's
27% on
incredible.
policies.
It's
Like more, like
incredible.
almost fucking tripling on policy here.
Yeah, and this is why I say, like, I don't wanna hear for a fucking second that there's not a progressive left in the state, right?
Yeah,
It's that you have to be able to fucking communicate to them. And and what I will say is that, like, the the actual policies are the thing that matter the most to people. It's not politics or ideology that matter the most to people, right? It's not.
it's not the culture war.
It's simply not. Yeah, that's because it right, because that's the culture war stuff. It's the fucking policies, dude. Put the policies in the bag. Karishma Manzoor is the only candidate that will actually go against spending funding for Israel. Like in that particular race. It's the only one. That's your only choice. Period. The end.
Yep.
If you have a problem with this, which is 70 some odd percent of the state of New Hampshire has an issue with sending money and arms to Israel, that's your only candidate.
Yeah,
Done and dusted, dude. And like so and it's like for the you know best chance of winning a general, I actually think that makes her better suited to win the general.
for sure. And like, I mean, as far as the whole media training stuff goes too, as well, like she's not like bad at it either. Like
No,
I've
no,
interviewed
not
her
at all.
like straight off the cuff, like questions and answers, and you can like check that out on this channel. And like, have you? But yeah, no, she's like she will like directly answer questions like no problem. Like, yep, no, this is what I think. This is what I'm gonna do. Like, you know, so
Right. No, and I mean, like, I had the same experience with her, and, like, if you go check out the interview that I did with her on Locally Sourced, like, way back at the beginning, right? There was, like at the beginning of the interview, she sort of stumbled a little bit out of the gate, but as the interview went on, she locked in. She started answering all that stuff, like, right off the bat, like, I would ask a very specific question, she would answer it, and, like, like, I'm excited to see her performance in the debate. I'm excited to see how much that training has grown, how much stronger those reflexes have gotten over time, because
yeah,
she's impressing me. She's really impressive,
here better
and we
late
need
than
it.
never.
We just
Yeah.
need it.
Nope,
Alright,
that's it. You're out of
let's roll
bounds.
on.
I'm sorry, you can't be here now.
Steven, we're glad you're here, bro. Do we have, like, a double stream up? Like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
I'm only seeing,
I
like, half the
so
fucking comments.
yeah, I had tried to do a thing with Restream, but apparently it just made two regular streams instead of one vertical and one regular. So I guess, know not to mess with that next time. Double the views,
It's
right?
okay,
Is that
bro.
how that works?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's half and half, but I appreciate your efforts, sir.
Shame.
Um,
Shame.
yeah, that's okay. Okay. You guys are good. You guys are good. Um, I'm clearly just watching the wrong live chat. Um, yeah, I mean, we can talk about the Senate Republican primary. Like, I'm sort of disinterested.
Looks
Um,
like Johnny Boy here is pretty out ahead of everyone else, so
yeah, yeah, I'm not I don't really give a shit about that. Um, I just don't. But I do want to get on to the CD1 stuff. Although Pappas will probably eat it against John Sununu according to this poll.
Oof.
Just to point that out. Yeah. Sununu is now like in a statistical tie with Pappas.
Yeesh.
That's really fucking bad. That's really fucking
Yeah. So we're gonna need
because
everyone
it,
to go ahead and
so
vote for Karishma.
exactly. We have no polling data for Karishma Manzoor's performance against John Sununu. We don't.
Yeah. Apparently, just not even a question.
Fucking bungled that. They didn't. Because all the pollsters think Chris Pappas winning is just a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, same with the media
Which
coverage as
is
well. It's
incredibly
like,
dumb. It's
well,
incredibly stupid.
this is my one opponent I have. Like, you know, that's how everyone's been acting for like months at a time now.
And I really hope that the analysts and the pollsters and the media outlets, I really hope they fucking learn their lesson from this cycle. That like you cannot act like the primary is a foregone conclusion. You cannot do that.
Well, I mean,
Like,
especially because it's kind of like lying by omission, like, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when it comes down to it, like the media when they don't represent like the actual movements and like people's campaigns that are taking place that do have like momentum, like then you guys are like basically suppressing like a portion of the voters like right now that are like for them. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Like the more people like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone should probably be covered equally if their numbers are pretty close to each other in that way.
Correct. Okay. So we're gonna put up some of the CD1 data right now.
All right, where are we
Right.
at? Whoop, 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 whoop.
Too far. But while Kyle's getting that up for us, this is the moment where I say, "Hey chat, I need somebody who is catching that interview over on NH Talk to tell me if Carly Barriant responded to the question about her position on defensive weapons for Israel, and I need to know what that was."
Yeah,
We've been
for
doing
sure.
this stream here. Neither one of us had the time to catch that. We're not authorized to restream that, so that's information that I didn't catch. But I kind of need to know it if I want to do this analysis correctly. So putting that out there to you guys, we can try and do the portions that we can try and do the portions that we can hear. But this is gonna matter.
Yeah. And
it's
I
gonna be
mean,
really important stuff.
if every single person that would have voted for Heath Howard goes over to Carly, then there is definitely a pretty competitive match between her and Mora there based on this.
Right. Exactly. So you still have 29% undecided. Them numbers change a lot of things. Okay. But like if you did take the entire 10% that Heath is holding in this poll, because this data was probably like mostly understood and assembled and aggregated prior to Heath dropping out. So that wasn't necessarily factored in, right? Then if and this is exactly why I need somebody to please hop in and just tell us what happened if Carly responded to the question about defensive weapons, because that's going to be really, really key to determining how that 10% folds into that 11%, right? That's really important. We can continue to do analysis, but
Yeah, that's
but I
dude, the Israel, the funding of like weapons stuff, that is a huge red line for a lot of people, and especially
Exactly.
if you're in like the camp of like Heath Howard, who is like extremely like left, like, so you're not gonna get like that whole 10% if she was just like oh, we got something. Digital Matt says, I believe she said no weapons.
No weapons.
Like
Was it like
whatsoever?
no weapons period, as in no defensive weapons.
Yeah, because defensive does a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to that.
Right. No weapons, period. Under any circumstances, defensive or offensive.
Generally defensive of, I'm assuming you meant to say J Street.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That makes me worry.
Hmm.
Especially because of this. Especially because of this data right here.
Wow.
When it comes to policies, Carly is like she's over triple Maura Sullivan.
That just makes me think, like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, up here, it's like, what are you voting for? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like about this candidate? You think like she's hot or something? Like, what is your policy? Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, how does that work?
Well, and
Like, how
it
does
gets even crazier, right? It gets even fucking crazier when you look at the other aspects of this, right?
like
Because
2% authenticity or honesty. Like,
right, because
god
I
damn.
would believe that. I would believe that if like I would be more understanding if the qualifications or competence was like significantly higher for Sullivan or Shaheen as opposed to Carly, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're right, like they're all fucking statistically tied. What's even more insane is that 13% think that Maura Sullivan represents change. The fuck kind of change do you think she represents? The fucking the fucking NSAification of the United States? That's of the US Congress? That's the kind of change you want? I thought this was New Hampshire. Y'all want some big government? Big
Man,
government apparatchik energy,
what
dude.
is fighter or strength mean? Like, what is that even supposed to mean?
That's stupid. That's a stupid fucking thing to fucking ask. This doesn't mean anything. That means nothing.
And then age? Why is age a factor on this one?
That's
What does that even mean?
because we are sexist. Because we are fucking sexist. That's why.
Like,
Because implicit sexism for fucking
was that a question on the other
for
one?
I didn't see it.
That is just
You
super
only
weird
have
to me. Like, what the
you
fuck
only
does
have
an
female
arbitrary
candidates here. You only
number have to do with?
you only have women. None of them are gerontocratic.
Yeah, that seems like a thing you'd bring up, like a Trump v. Biden thing with the age, like you know, fucking like, oh, what do you think about how fucking old and frail these people are? You know what I mean? Like that, not like what the fuck.
Right, but I mean, like, like, I just want to like explain why I think that's sexist, like, incredibly, like, why I think that's incredibly misogynistic, is because like how much in misogynistic culture is a woman's value tied to her age, right? Like
Yeah, it's that super
that makes
creepy
me
like
feel
fertility thing
right.
that so
That
many
makes me feel
people are.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's fucking
That makes me feel
gross.
so gross to see that fucking data right there. That's like yikes, dude. Fucking yikes. That makes me nauseous. Like what the fuck? Why would you ask that question?
Yeah, it just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, unless somebody's super young or super old, like, who gives a fuck? Like, what are you talking about right now? Like, what?
Right. Right. So here's why it was so important to me to know what Carly's position on defensive weapons was, and specifically J Street. And I'm just yeah, I'll give me 1 second here because I'm gonna try and just not that I don't trust Matt. We had Matt on. I like Matt. Matt's great. You know, I trust it, but I just want to make sure I double check this. So While I'm waiting to hear back from that, I want to take a moment to discuss the entertaining part of this. Please scroll up for a second. I want to go back to that previous one. Stop. Okay, cool. Um, Look at your boy Christian Arudia. I like
Oh, there he is. Okay. I was like,
we
wait, where?
had right. Where?
Where?
We had we had a poll in June from St. Ansel. Had Arudia at 3%.
He's moving on up.
We had a poll last week from St. Ansel. Had him at 3%. We have this poll from UNH, has him at 4%. He spent millions on this race. He has the endorsement of multiple major major progressive organizations and as well as the House Progressive Caucus. New Hampshire Youth Movement published a Instagram reel using I believe it was an Olivia Rodrigo song, and in it she has a comment about having fake jobs. This is the song. I don't listen to Olivia Rodrigo. Spoke to Stephen Dennis. It's a wonderful man, who enlightened me because he enjoys Olivia Rodrigo, and I do. And the whole point was like rich dudes that have fake jobs, right? Now, in this video that New Hampshire Youth Movement put out, this is a little bit before Heath dropped out, but he did drop out. When that line came up, he very briefly flashed on the screen, "F you, Heath Howard," and then moved on to have it be like literally just like Christian was in the video.
Huh.
You know, so they're like doubling, tripling, quadrupling that.
How
That's
progressive.
incredibly toxic and disgusting. Yeah, that's incredibly toxic and disgusting. Like that is abhorrent. That is vile. That is nasty. That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's fucking
And
crazy.
New Hampshire Youth Movement should be absolutely ashamed of themselves for publishing that video. That's not acceptable. You can't. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's
shouldn't
one
be saying
thing to
that
be
about
fucking
anybody.
all like piffy against like Republicans and shit, but like, what you gonna shit on like the fucking that one of the most like progressive like fucking leftists in the whole fucking state like for no fucking reason like that?
Right. I like honestly like I don't really care if he was if Heath was shitty to people in that instance. It is under no circumstance should it ever be acceptable to say things like that about anybody at all. I don't think that's an acceptable line of attack. That's a very personal ad hominem attack in general. It's not how you win a debate ever. But furthermore, to add insult to injury, you're talking about a disabled man. You're talking about a disabled person. The amount of damage and alienation that will do to the disabled community is immeasurable. That's disgusting.
Yeah, you know, I kind of found it like a little fucked up as well when like WMUR did that whole like, oh, he's rocking across the state, and then like, you know, he's putting boots on the ground and you know doing the things that no other candidate in this race can, and I was just like, ooh, that's a little fucked up. Like if you think about it for a sec, dude.
When
Like
you're
what the
talking about a
fuck,
guy who
man?
has a spinal injury,
Yeah,
yeah, like
it's like what the fuck.
so like and this isn't the first time, right? Like this isn't like this isn't the first time that Christian has been 100% okay with like putting his name on really gross fucking attacks. Um, you know, he took a photo of neo-Nazis, made it black and white, sent it to Jewish constituents on Hanukkah. He sent he sent out an email to people with the subject line, "I saw your name in the Epstein file."
Like that's one way to
Like
viral market, I guess. You know.
he waffled on calling what's happening in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank in Palestine a genocide for months and months and months, while at the same time still holding stocks and making passive income off of holdings in Airbnb, which does have, um, rentals in the West Bank through, um, illegally obtained Israeli settlers.
Yeesh. Not to mention the whole Airbnb kind of is just fucking up this country as well with raising the cost of living in all these fucking places that people are just like, oh, I can just make a couple $100 off of this place in a day instead of renting it out for like a couple thousand a month.
Yep. He donated money to Seth Moulton, who said, very, a anti-trans things, it was absolutely willing to abandon, the trans community. So I don't understand why, um, I have no way to wrap my head around the fact why the chair of the House Progressive Caucus, who is a trans person, which is that part I have no issue with. But what I don't understand is why that person can throw such intense, full-throated support behind somebody who would donate money to Seth Moulton. So somebody make this make sense for me. So, you know what? The fact that he has only been able to gain a single point, meanwhile, since the last polling data that we saw, Carly Berriant jumped up like, I don't know, fucking 8 points. Like, that should tell you something. He's a garbage candidate.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
yeah.
why the hell is he even still in the race right now? Like, what are you doing, dude?
If Steven is still here to corroborate, that'd be great, but she was asked if she'd vote to send any weapons to Israel, and she said no. Yeah, I mean, that's tough, right? Like, if it was, "Would you send any weapons to Israel?" My attitude would be that question is too general. It's not
Yeah.
specific enough. You're still allowing there to be room
It's an
for
Iron Dome,
misinterpretation and
Like,
yeah,
that's
like,
not
our
weapons, that's interceptors. That's.
generally took the framing in the broader conversation that the first step is to elect progressives. I mean, okay. No,
I
no, 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 I don't I'm sorry, I can't, like, I can't deal with that, I can't accept that. These are really, really hard, rigid lines, okay? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't something that we can just fuck around with,
Yeah, this
okay?
isn't like the liberal Zionists are like okay as long as they're progressive type election right now.
Yeah,
You
if
got to
you
make your
continue
stance
to
really clear.
Right. If you continue to provide defensive weapons for Israel, what you are doing is you are enabling them to maintain a sense of being able to protect themselves, which allows them to believe that it's A-okay to continue to go and expand their pressure to invade Lebanon. It enables them to think it's totally fine to continue a settler expansion in the West Bank. And it enables them to think it's 100% okay to continue to just bomb the absolute shit out of Gaza.
Right.
No. No. No, 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 no. You can't fucking do that. That's unacceptable, right? That needs to be a hard line, and I assure you that if she doesn't adopt a clear, solid position on this, she will not be able to take that full 10% of the Heath-Howard voters. That will cost her that. That will cost her that election. So, like, her position on that issue, 100%, in my opinion, from my analysis, dictates whether or not she is able to actually compete against Stephanie Shaheen or Maura Sullivan. I understand you're paraphrasing that, and I appreciate that. Like, I'm not trying to, like, but like, for
Yeah, there
real, like,
needs to
this
be
is
like a hard
the
stance taken here. Like there yeah,
right,
this is
right,
going to come up in a debate like
so, another contact tells me, Quote, she is against sending any arms to Israel. She is receiving no support from J Street. She is happy to donate the 1600 to PCRF, which was at the behest of Heath. So, interesting moment. Weirdly enough, after leaving the race, Heath Howard is the one who can determine whether or not those voters actually support Carly.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, he's still holding the
he's
card.
the queen maker at this point,
Wild.
man. Check it out.
It's wild. It's just wild stuff. And I think honestly, like I think that ends my commentary on this right now. Aside from the fact that like Sarah Jasinski, please just stop.
I don't know, man.
Stop.
Someone else is polling at 1%. Should we talk about them too?
Matt Emerson, not now. We can have a conversation.
No, I meant someone else.
Oh, right in someone else. Matt Emerson is getting less than right.
Neck and neck with someone else over here.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So at any rate, I think that clears my analysis, but we're basically at 10 o'clock and we already went an hour over. So there was a lot.
Yep, lots going on.
But yeah, I mean, like I think that's the bottom line, dude. Like and I do support Carly. I do support Carly in the sense that like she's the progressive candidate. If I lived in CD1, I'd probably vote for. But I can't say the same for other people. And I do think that I do think that is an incredibly risky position to take at this point. If she doesn't make a hard fast decision, a lot of the support that Heath was getting from the DSA is not going to be there for her.
Yeah. As well as this whole like I don't use social media thing because I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to profit off me or whatever the hell. Like
Yeah.
like come
Yeah,
on,
I
dude.
will say something about that. I will say something
Like,
about that really
come
quick.
on.
Because so what happened was after the entire controversy with Heath and Alice, there were a huge portion of people from the NH Talk social media community that basically were like, okay, Carly Berrien, I guess. And they all immediately started pushing content about how they would support her, right? Now, I don't think Carly was paying them to do that. I think they were doing that all on their own. So Carly just benefited from all of that unpaid labor of all of those people who were leveraging their followings, leveraging their mass media to produce an outcome for her. That's volunteer work. So like that's the credit for her being able to take that position is not hers. That is simply not hers. Her husband for months was posting, Carly said this. So like she can plausibly say that I'm not doing the social media.
It's like
Everybody
it's just such a weird
everybody else was doing that for her so that she could not do that. And like I think that's not that communicates a certain amount of disingenuousness.
Yeah, it's like a weird ass
which
like
leaves a bad taste.
weird moral hill to die on. Like when
Yeah, it
like
is.
the internet is part of everyday life. Like you can't just be
Right.
like, well, I don't like the person in charge of the social media site, so I'm just not going to use it. And campaign be damned. Like whatever, I'll go out and talk to people.
Yeah.
I'll just like
Yeah,
see
and
him.
not to
I'll see
mention
everyone in the state in person. It's like, ah, come on,
Yeah.
dude. Like you
And
you
not to
don't want
mention
your
the
message out there. Like
Right. And also just the extent to which that can be alienating to the disabled community. Again, because there are plenty of disabled people that will be relying on social media to receive information about and to engage.
yeah, it like
So you're still kind of disenfranchising potential supporters, and I don't think that's great.
yeah. Yeah, I just
So
think
like
it's
and I need
just a silly thing to like take a stand on. Like you
Right.
like the internet is no longer a separate thing from like the American like the psyche, It's like half of the stuff that people talk about is something they saw online. Like probably way more than that.
Yeah.
Like so, it's Just like get over it, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it
Yeah, like,
sucks that the people
sorry,
in
dude,
charge
it's not
suck,
optional
but
anymore. It's
yeah.
not optional anymore. That's, you know, like again, like I think, like I really think it's important to state this to people that like these two things can be true at once. Like I can say that I'm supportive of Carly Berryont within the context of this race, but also still have these general criticisms and critiques of the way that she's conducting her campaign. And I can talk about these things as a thing like, no, this needs to be better. And I think fundamentally, if she doesn't make it through this race, these things that we're listing off will be the things that are to blame.
Right.
So I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of like if this fails, this is going to be why this failed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would prefer it not to be the case, and I think there's a way out of this, just like I thought that there was a way out of Keith getting like losing the amount of support that he did. I genuinely believe there was a way that he could have handled that situation that would have allowed him to turn the whole thing on its head, and he would have been able to come out looking pretty clean. But it didn't go that way. And I think Carly is now in her own version of that exact situation. And if she doesn't act right, then it's going to cook her campaign too, and we will be stuck with ourselves.
Yeah.
So good luck. Good luck, CD1 fam. Please apply respectful and honored pressure to Carly to adjust her position on these issues. That I think if she does that, she can have it in the bag.
Yeah.
Maybe she can squeak by without it. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. It's
Honestly,
really
it'd be
hard to say at
really
this point because
impressive.
of how statistically close it is.
It would be really impressive if she did no social media work and like did get through at this point. And like you said,
Well, but I mean,
it's not like she got this outflowing of support from all of these content creators, and you know, I feel like that probably had an effect on her polling numbers here because more people were aware of her campaign and like because of all these people saying, you
1000%.
know, so like you can't really argue
A number
against
of
it.
these people, a number of these people are now listed on her campaign website as staff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like you can't say it on the one hand and then do it on the other. Like you can't say no on this side. Send a whole bunch of other people to do it on the other. So, I mean, this kind of goes back to the whole thing of like, yeah, Trump may not have worked directly with Russia, but he certainly had a bunch of fucking people that worked on his campaign that worked with Russia.
Yeah.
Remind me how that's different. Maybe way lower fucking stakes. But the dynamic, the underlying that situation is exactly the same. So things for people to keep. But it's 10. We gotta go.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Hell yeah! Thank you
Like
everybody
I said,
for.
I'm sure we pissed somebody off.
Yeah. Hell yeah! I'm sure. I'm sure. Maybe. Hopefully, I did at some point. You know, because like, give me some of the ire over here. What the hell? Everybody just likes me or something. What the fuck? What am I, some milquetoast fucking lib over here? Fucking asshole.
Kyle's the nice guy. Kyle's the nice guy. I like it.
Yeah.
All right,
real nice.
So we'll
Yeah.
catch up with you guys next week. It's gonna be fun because we're gonna figure out. We will damn well figure out how to watch that CD1 debate together.
Oh yeah. What day is that on?
Thursday, man.
Thursday.
It's literally
man.
the CD1 debate is literally happening while we are streaming.
Oh, well,
we
that's
will be able to
perfect.
tune in live and watch it. Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Stoked.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. You know, we'll see you next week.
You know it. Take care, fam.
Peace.